player in all the lands.
There's me as well. The other one ran away, but I'm Speckles.
Good, good. And then across the table, we have some very fine gentlemen have come over, and they can introduce themselves.
Yeah, hi, I'm George. I'm really glad you can find you here. Amazing.
I'm Yanis, and for the third time, I'll say it. I'm so fucking glad I'm here, and I mean it. And I'll say it as many times as I'll have to. I'm so happy to be here.
Keep saying that.
Okay, I'm George.
Still high.
I'm not as happy as he is, but I'm quite hyped myself, okay?
So thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, this is the worst show ever. But the Honest Wargamer appreciates everyone on Patreon and Twitch. If you keep supporting us, one day we might actually be able to work out how to use a microphone.
Nathan will never do that.
Nathan refuses to learn, but the plan is that
Against my religion.
so there should be no audio, which is nice, which is good. No, there should be audio, but it's oh my fuck. Anyway, we're going to talk about Warhammer. Yeah. So give it. Yeah, I've been poorly. Anyway, doesn't matter about that. I'm very excited that the Greeks are here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
I'm very
Thank
excited.
you for inviting us.
Thank you very much for Nathan and Speckles to be here. You guys are great too. For Grima, thanks for joining for 17 months in a row, and also for Jet the dog. I might be able to do a thing actually where we'll do some. I can do some science. Anyway, right before we get on, we shouldn't let these guys introduce themselves. I reckon. Yeah, I know, but what I mean is just yeah. So you guys have travelled over from Greece to play at the Heats this weekend.
Yes.
I know I've already said that, but I'm saying it now as one whole piece. And what's cool about that is you guys obviously played some armies. So what armies did you decide to bring over from Greece and why?
So, Blood Dieth tournament that we had in March, I played Daughters of Cain, but now due to meta, I tried to change to bring Khorne.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah. Too many girls I don't like also. So, I like this option for me. We have plenty armies with magic heavy, Skaven. Fek is not so much magic heavy, but it's okay. Yeah. And also, it's good time for me to come here and to participate at Hit 3 because I can collect more skulls.
And you've never been to Warhammer World before?
No, first time. Great experience, great event, and we have a really great time.
Did you go round the exhibition bit?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you got to use those microphones, Speckles.
Sorry, I mean, I'll just sit on Nathan's knee. It's fine.
You say knee, but we know what you mean.
So yeah, I'm Yanis. I brought Seraphon with me, and the change he refers to it was from one army that straight charges forward and kills stuff to another army that, guess what, charges forward and kills stuff. So huge changer. Good job, man.
Yeah, my
Kill
favorite.
stuff is the best way.
He's the orc of the guild. So whatever.
You
One
have to
moment,
have
please. I'd like to see my
consistency.
favorite T-shirt.
Yeah.
Grimgore and me, not only Grimgore. Are you happy about that?
Yeah. Definitely great choice. Yeah, cool. Especially at the moment.
Well, I have Idoneth Deepkin. I have not so many eels.
How many eels?
27.
Fluff player all the time. I like to say that fluff player every time. Yeah, of course.
I'm a really nice guy, just so you know.
They were all the defensive eels.
My eels are very polite.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you're dead.
Yeah.
What is it that made you want to
to
bring?
bring?
What is it that made you want to bring the eels? Why did you bring the eels specifically?
Well, this Idoneth Deepkin or this kind of army list.
Either.
Well, I like elves of all kinds. So when Idoneth came out, I was very excited.
You're now Nathan's mortal enemy, by the way.
He's like, I like you. And Nathan, they're both called George.
And I hate dwarves, by the way. Just saying. So I like the army. I like the cool theme, the Atlantean theme. But it was a bit disappointing because I think the internal balance of the book is terrible.
Because you've only got 27 models by the sound of it.
Well, it's not a very good balance because you have too many units that do the same thing. Actually, the shark, the turtle, the eidolon aspect of the storm, and the eels do it better.
Yeah, yeah.
If the other units had some more utility, it would be nice. But now you have 4 or 5 units which they do close combat, and the eels just do it better.
And so
Real-
did you have defensive eels or only offensive eels?
I
the
have-
Morsar guards.
I have 9 Island Guard, which works as a screen.
Yeah.
So those are the defensive eels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And 3 units of 6 Morsar Guard, which are the hammers.
Yeah.
Well, Tom in the chat thinks it's 27 eels are very narrative.
Yeah,
It's a bag of
Happy with it.
it's like an aquarium, you know.
That's Finding Nemo.
a bag of hammers. Good.
Yeah. The point of the list is to have the defensive eels act as a shield initially. And I also have on the king the Cloud of Midnight. It's the artifact that allows you in any phase to activate it at the beginning. So any unit cannot target you, and your character cannot target any unit. So either in the movement phase, hero phase, combat phase, shooting phase, you can protect your character or tie an enemy unit, which I think is great. And if an army is a shooting army and it's a slow one, so you can't move on the side, you can put your character at the front and avoid a whole shooting phase just like that.
Yeah, it's really powerful when it does.
And I also like armies that have movement. I like movement. So it's a nice army, compact, it moves fast, it hits fast. So that's what I prefer.
Just a big shout out to, I don't know if he's watching live at the minute, but big shout out to Colin Cochran when I tell you about my 3rd game on Saturday. He also likes armies that can move if his opponent lets them, which I didn't, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
I've got something from the chat. Apparently, George is an amazing painter, according to J180, OJ180.
Well, I try my best.
Yeah? Yeah?
Oh, he definitely is. Yes,
He's a good
he has
painter.
painted many armies and all look like so many times better than ours.
This is what Twitter's
Yeah,
for.
we
honest
try
God.
so hard,
Yeah.
and then he pops out with an army in like 2.5 weeks, and he's so much better. It makes us feel crap every time, every single time.
There's a guy in England called Steve Wren. He does the same thing.
It takes a lot of practice. I've painted for over 16 years miniatures, so you get used to it and do some things automatically. See some color combinations more easy than others.
Have you ever done anything concept armies?
You mean?
Do you don't know what a concept army is?
Well,
Have you? Oh, because you've only joined Twitter today, haven't you?
yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for you to learn about concept armies. We're talking about that later.
It's my first day.
Be gentle, please.
Yeah, we'll. You're all on Twitter. I'm going to put you all in one big mega thread when we put
Okay.
the show notes out, so people can say hi and join up with you guys, because you guys really represent the whole of Greece when it comes to Age of Sigmar, right?
Not all of it, okay. But unfortunately, a big portion of it.
Okay.
3 of us are a big portion of it.
of the competitive scene, of the high competitive
Oh
scene.
yeah, of the competitive scene, of the tournament scene.
Are there any narrative scene?
No,
No,
not really.
there is a casual scene.
Yeah, there are people playing, but unfortunately, just to
It's
their
just
home.
the
Well, it's
social.
still cool, but
yeah,
you-
it's just a
Yeah,
social
we
thing.
don't
Yeah.
have a big
Yeah.
scene about this.
yeah.
Well, there's this thing in Greece. The tournaments are with few people. Here, for example, on a grand tournament like Hit 3, there were over 100 people. So if a casual player comes, he may get 1 or 2 matchups with highly competitive power players. But I think out of 5 games, the 3 will be with opponents of his caliber, which came with the same mindset.
Yeah.
If such a player comes to a Greek tournament, because we are so few players, he won't have such a nice experience. So people who are casual players tend to avoid tournaments altogether.
Which is a mistake, right?
Yeah.
Can I give my
Yes,
personal
yes,
example?
to an extent, yes, but I can't blame them really.
Back in 2017, when I first began going on tournaments, I was still painting my army, so I was picking my units from what I was painting to use them. I was getting tabled at second turn every time. I was having a great time. I was learning more and more, but that was it. 2 turns and I was off.
That's my
for
role now.
for a bit of lucky, actually. Yeah.
Life like speckles.
So for us that we play in tournaments and we like this kind of stuff, it's really difficult because if we play a casual game or a tournament game, for us it's the same. Because we are a pool of 10, 12 peoples, and even I play with George casually or I play in a tournament, it's the same.
Yeah, because you're at that competitive kind of level there. You can play properly and...
Yeah,
You have to try your best.
Yeah, you
I-
know it's going to be a match.
If I play
I mean, it's over there.
if I nerf myself and my strategy, it's like I insult my opponent. It's like, what, you're not good enough, so I play in a more weak way, so we get
That's how I feel
knocked.
about everyone who plays Bones players.
Well,
Sorry, Cunning Rock.
sorry, can
Not the other guys. The
other
naked
guys,
ones
yeah.
hitting with axes up close. Not these ones.
apparently there's somebody else who didn't do too well at Heat 3 who's in the chat.
Who is it?
Some guy called Andy Hughes 01.
Oh, right.
He was rubbish.
We'll talk about him in a bit.
Yeah.
Nath, how have you been?
Been great, yeah.
Excited about Meet the Greek fellas?
Yes, it's great, yeah. They're friendly dudes. It sounds like they've had a great time as well. So, and were you all at the blood tithe thing? Because
Yeah.
I saw
we
some
are
of the...
only missing one.
Oh, yeah.
Our captain.
Greetings to our captain, Kostas.
Ela Costa.
He has two kids, so
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
make it.
he didn't manage
But-
to came here.
yeah.
Get them trained up.
He's with us in spirit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Look, so, hello everyone. So the Greeks. Oh, have we talked? No, we talked about all the armies. No.
Yes.
No, we haven't.
Khorne,
Seraphon.
Seraphon, and Deepkin.
Right. Okay.
We
perfect.
mentioned them, yes.
Good. We'll mention them. We'll come back to them in a bit, right? And we'll talk about the games. So there was the Heat this weekend at Warhammer World, which was cool. Nathan and Speckles, neither of you two went.
No, sounds kind of didn't go.
But then hold on. Then GHB also came out.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. Have you got any quick initial thoughts?
We always support everybody that comes out, so yes, that's all right.
My stuff hasn't come out yet, so I'm waiting.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can support you when they come out soon.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so your thoughts. All right.
This is going so well.
We were. I had it all set up. So I had a. Joe, I'm just going to go quickly through what happened to me. On Friday, I played a practice game against OJ, who's in the chat. Lovely fella. And then he was playing Sylvaneth, and then he put down a bunch of wildwoods, and I went, oh, you can't do that near the objective. And then he threw a tape measure at my eye. Have you seen?
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
there. You guys.
This is
You
literally
guys.
what happened.
You guys can
We
confirm that
witnessed,
as you were there.
Yeah.
I saw the blood, I can confirm this.
Perfect. Thank you
I
so
will
much.
swear in court.
Yeah. Nathan, what do you think about that? That's bang out of order, right?
Why didn't he hit the other eye as well?
So I was like deploying, and I was like, oh my god, depth perception. It gave me a concussion, which meant that I had to go home on Saturday.
His Drycha spirit came out, right? The enraged one.
No, what actually happened is on Friday morning, Nathan was moving like a drive's worth of concrete, like 4 vans worth of concrete, and then I volunteered to help him carry all the concrete. And then my hands were so weak from doing actual hard work that I couldn't hold on to a tape measure, and I threw it into my own face. What are your thoughts on that, Bob the Builder?
I could always throw all the concrete in your face if you'd rather.
Yeah, I prefer this way. So I took the Chaos Dwarves, but obviously it was the last outing for everyone for the GHB 2018.
Yeah.
Which has been fun. How has it
Swan
treated?
song.
Yeah, there's one song. How's it treated you guys? Have you guys enjoyed the past year?
Yeah. It was great, I think. It was better than the General's Handbook 17 era. I like that I've seen in the tournaments lots of different armies. Where there were few that dictated the top most of the time, but many people use different armies, and that's nice. And I think it speaks for the diversity Age of Sigmar has at this time. And I think it will continue with the new General's Handbook.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. They do seem to get better every time. I mean, they're still not perfect, but yeah.
They try.
And it seems to
They
be going
improve. In
through.
every general handbook they improve.
Exactly.
The points cost.
Nothing will ever be perfect because there's always going to be something someone's like, oh, I don't like that, and then the other person likes it. So.
There'll always be a speckles
You
around.
can't,
yeah.
you
So-
can't, you can't have a perfect game. Even if in games like War Machine, where they advertise that it is a game for tournaments and competitive play only, it still has so many holes and bugs, and you really can't make a game with which has armies with so many different abilities and rules and be balanced. You can't do it.
However,
However,
they can also not do the Gristlegore command ability.
yeah,
Yeah,
agreed.
Yeah, go on. So what do you think?
Definitely enjoyed this year more than last year. Simple changes like the not +1 save on the Mystic Shield and the damn terrain +1 to hit for things like Skyfires.
Yeah.
Oh, like last year you were playing against a Jinx player, a competitive one, that he had the Skyfire army. He got the damn terrain +1 to hit. Oh, the game is pretty much over. I have 14 straight.
Yeah.
You can do
Lose.
something about it. Yeah, just lose.
Yeah.
Not that fun.
There's something that we need to bring back that was said on this show right at the beginning when they first started doing it. It was fuck Zinch. So that seems to be a lot of times. Everyone said it. I think. What do you reckon, Nate?
100%.
Yeah, definitely. Fuck
Yeah. Khorne approves 100%.
Yes, Khorne
100%.
Even Feck approves this one.
Yeah, we hated Jin so much. So much.
Zinch is fucking. Oh my god, Zinch is broken.
Crystal
horrible
Gore
people.
and Skaven died seemed like kids to the Jinx of last year. Like, oh come on, let me pet you.
So one of the funny things I saw this yesterday on Twitter was Tom Mosley tweet, hey, Tony Moore, obviously the Iron Golem, it's nice to see that you didn't go to Heat 3 because Tony took his Zinch change host and didn't do great. But you know, first run out with since that a bit of a hilarious jab from Tony at from Tom at Tony, which made me chuckle. So yeah, change host, but a change host also came third in Australia, first in Ireland this week. So the Zinch could be on it, but they're not Skyfires, so that's fine.
No,
I'm fine with Sean.
no,
No,
just no.
why not?
Tell him, George. You tell him.
Well, I believe change host is tedious.
See,
armies.
the problem is you haven't played someone who's fun with it, and I'm going to be a delight to play because I'm going to have a bow, some endless spells. You play change hosts without endless spells. How much fun are
I
they?
still like you, but I won't like your army.
which is kind of the
These are
resign.
two separate things.
Yeah, right. And some people get that. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about from this weekend. That's one of the things you can get like confounded by, right? Because some of the armies are just like so dollars ditch water to play, and that isn't an issue. Like because as long as the people are fine, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Dave, what's that fake dwarf army?
They're fine. They're real. They're in the General's Handbook also.
In the compendium section.
Can I tell you something though? Like they, so the Chaos Dwarves have been given no allies.
Because no one wants to be their friend.
Yeah.
No friends. They can hardly play next to each other. Come on.
Who would want to be friends with something that's not real?
Oh, come on.
They're imaginary friends.
Come on, me and
With
Gabe.
no Duarden keyword.
They've got like everyone else like allies.
All-
They're like Chaos Dwarves.
All they
No
need
allies.
is the ugly keyword. That's
The ugly keywords.
You know,
but now let me say that we'll go there later. But I may be saying these things, but I've lost all my points out of battles from these mean little guys and from Tomb Kings. So I only lost from Compendium armies. Kudos to me. Yeah. Compendium, it's the next meta. It is for me.
It is. Bretonnians are back. There's also, I'm going to make a mixed chaos list with 2 Hell Cannons. Hello 2015. I've had a great time. 600 points for 46 mortal wounds at 48 inches. Doesn't need line of sight. Put a palisade up in front of them and just be
very
like,
powerful.
is right.
I've been using Feck since 2016. It's fine. It's the set. I take the same ton of dragons, the same flares. I don't know what the problem is.
Twitch chat, new game. Every time Speckle says the word feck, you get a point. Right, okay. So, Nath, I'm going to lead you off. You're going to be the interviewer. Just ask about the weekend and what you thought. So, obviously, I'm going to ask you guys, because you know the standardized questions for tournaments, right? Like what to ask? Yeah? Okay, so you guys attended the Warhammer World Heat, but ignoring the games.
Yeah, how are the hand dryers?
It's important to know.
Is it
work.
now?
Good. Right.
So it was your guys' first time at an event at Warhammer World, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you've been at Blood Tithe, which is another
Yes.
run by Mark Wilson. So I wanted to get your.
Hey, Mark.
So I have some very strong feelings about the Warhammer World event, but obviously it's your first time, and I know you guys are super positive, so I don't want you to have to rag on stuff. So I'm going to do that element.
I don't have any problem.
Oh, okay, good. But generally, how did you find? Number one, just your overall. How did you find the event?
I say it was awesome. The hall was a bit smaller than I thought it was. It would be.
It doesn't seem massive, that hall.
Yes,
For that
but
many people in there, it's ridiculous.
the high ceiling is very nice. So you have breathing room. I didn't feel that we were over 100 people in there.
Was the
atmosphere
aircon
nice.
working?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't normally work till day 2.
It hit my neck on the third
Yeah,
one, so I
yeah.
know.
It was it was a bit frosty on some tables.
Yeah.
Let
Even
me say
we
this.
play with the hoods. Sometimes coming. I said, Yanis, you feel that? Yes. And we play both with the hoods.
Well, the guys were from GW were very nice to us. You know, when we planned this trip, we actually fucked up and we didn't know that the tickets were available from around Christmas. And we had the plane tickets, the hotel tickets, and all that prepared, but we hadn't bought tickets for the actual tournament. And
Because we thought that we have time.
and we suddenly realized that all the positions were taken.
Yeah, sold out
So
everything.
Yanis tweeted that we had this problem and what we're gonna do, and many people from the community
Way more men than I expected, and thank you so much, everyone. You're
retweeted
perfect.
it and helped us. And fine gentleman from GW
What's the name?
went the extra mile to find us 3 positions so we can play. Because otherwise we will come here and not play in the tournament. It will be
Like a visitors only.
disappointing.
Just to see the
bit.
tournament.
Can
but
I get
not
my
participate.
phone so I can see his name?
No,
Thank you.
it's the Colonel, right? It was Jamie.
Yes, Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie
yes.
Robinson.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you
We
really-
really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Kudos to him.
great experience. Yeah.
Yeah, great guy. The whole events team is really nice.
They were
Yeah.
really,
So-
really polite.
So when I rag on the event, understand that I think the events team are great. Because I think they are. So for me, Oh no, sorry. Carry on with how you felt about the event. You had a good time.
So the event for me generally, so everything okay, really nice. I like the place. When I entered inside, I said to the guys, "Oh guys, look, we are here." Like something our dream come
Disney
true.
World.
Yeah. And also when we came inside, I like because it's like atmospheric. The castles all around, everything was fine. Also the players, great guys. I meet 5 great players. We have a really great time, and I don't know what else to say. It was everything fine. For me, everything is okay.
Are you coming back to finals? Would you want to come back to finals?
Yeah, I like to come, but I
We'll
don't
give
know.
it our best.
Yeah.
Because you all qualified, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All 3 of
Okay,
us.
good. There you go. Greece is also good at Warhammer.
Greek meta is strong.
Yes, strong.
As they said, just the fact that we were there already made us happy. And of course, we got to meet you again. It was perfect. And now we get to meet you up close. It's really good for us, After watching the show for so much time, now we get to know you guys. It's perfect for us. Cool. And
It's just as good the other way. That's the best thing about Warhammer, right? All the people that you meet is the cool part and the great stories. And then everyone was a big fan of you guys at Blood Tithe, and so it was awesome that you guys are coming over. And it's great to have you on the show. So thank you for being on the show.
Thank you again for having us.
That's great. Yeah, the community is the best part about the game.
Yeah.
And it was a good environment generally.
yes, it was a really nice environment.
Yeah.
And the effect of having, again, more than 100 armies in front of us, that was more than enough for me. I was like, oh, let's play. Let's do this. It was perfect.
Yeah. Did you guys get a chance? So did you come down on the Friday as well?
Yeah.
Friday night after a
yeah.
long trip. We had some delays. Like it was a 10-hour trip.
It was an
10,
adventure.
12
Let's say
sounds
it was an adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Adventure began from Greece, not from here.
We almost missed the plane.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
constantly running and going to the wrong place.
Yeah,
but you know what?
100%.
The good thing is that we were constant on what we're doing. We almost missed the plane. Then we had the delays and came later. And on on Saturday morning, these guys leave first because I had to eat a bit more to take some antibiotics. So they were like 5 minutes before they go. The only thing that they were discussing: did you take the wallet? Yeah, sure. Did you take it? Yeah. Did you double check? Yeah. So the moment I'm leaving, I see the wallet on the bench. Like, good job, you morons. So, and after that, I start working towards the.
I can't
Warhammer
think of everything, Yanis.
I lose the way. I lose the way, and on the way back to the proper, like to the right street, I just realized I forgot my Balewind Vortex. I'm like, that's a good start. And on Sunday morning, and guess what? We leave the house, and he forgot the Juggernauts.
And you forgot me.
Yes, yes. And a toilet throwing up or something. So yeah.
Apparently,
But we made it.
Hellstorm Dan thinks you three should be on him more often, and me and Nathan should get kicked off.
Also, can we talk about the fact that the Greek meta is now called the Strong Feta?
Whoever made this is awesome. I love it.
All right, so for me, I've got like a constant problem with the event because it's my local, right? So earlier on in the week, big shout out to Dan Elkington for selling me the ticket. He's like, "Oh, I'm selling a ticket." I was like, "Sweet, I'll pick up a ticket. I'll go play because you guys are there." Really looking forward to it. It'll be really fun. Last outing for the Chaos Dwarves, sweet potatoes. I wanted to take something fun, so I just took so I took the bull again, run around with it, had a great time. But the Realm of Battle boards are just awful to play Warhammer on. Like, they're just awful. Like, it's subpar. Like, the playing on a slate of cardboard or like a piece of MDF is better than playing on a Realm of Battle boards because it's like 2/3 of the board I can't play on. Secondly, the scenery was pretty but atrocious to play Warhammer on. It's got Realm of Battle, Wildwoods. At least like when we played, there was like 4 Wildwoods, and we just moved them to the side.
And the huge tower. Like the huge
Huge,
piece of
like
tower.
which is nice looking, but like it's just not functional. So like for me, like as a gaming environment, all of the people were awesome. The event staff were great. I was really happy about it, but like, and I don't want to rag on it because it's right there next to me. But it's the most expensive event I can attend. It's my local one, so more like you guys could have had a great time. You're like, Warhammer, that's great. That's where I want to go and game all the time. So I'm going to be a bitch about it because I want it to be better because it's right next to my house.
You know, I've seen some pieces of terrain which were large, and I don't mean tall, I mean wide, in a wide way. And I believe Age of Sigmar does not work with so large terrain pieces. They must be more line of sight blocking terrain pieces and a bit smaller.
Yeah,
Because
compact, definitely.
compact, yes, because
totally agree.
with all these abilities, they can be very game changing. So if you have a huge hill, which is a mystical terrain, it's a very large portion of the battlefield with 6-up invulnerable save. So it's not nice, I think. Yeah. And it's only gonna get worse now because I've heard with the new Journal's Handbook, we will be obligated to use the rules of the War Scroll.
No, we're not going to do that.
Oh, they're not.
Yeah, no, we've all decided we're not going to do it. Twitch chat, anyone in the Twitch chat want to use it? I'll ask everyone in the room. Nathan, do you want to use it?
Use what?
The silly scenery deployment thing. Do you want to deploy scenery before?
We're talking about War Scroll.
Yeah.
Oh no. Do you want to do that either? Because that's ridiculous.
So what? So we're obligated to use the War Scroll.
According to the match play in the new Journal's Handbook, as I've seen, yes.
Yeah. Let's just not. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment we've got on perfectly well just using the rather using
mysterious terrain.
the mysterious terrain tables, which they
I agree.
Which they've added to. So I would have thought most people would prefer to use that. And, well, I would.
Yes, and I believe all the rules of the War Scrolls. I haven't seen the new rules of the terrain pieces, but the old ones I remember have some rules that potentially can break the game and be
So we just won't use them.
used by players.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm playing this weekend, so at Warhammer World for their first 2019 event. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the scenery there.
Because at Warhammer World they might say use the war
Well,
scrolls,
yeah, I know, yeah, and I agree. And it's a huge element of the game, right? It's the third player in a game between two people is the terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big deal.
They did a really good job on the 2019 for making all the buffs of the terrain work on 1 inch. It was like pretty straightforward, not 6 inches or straight ahead. The fact that all the terrains had the same rules, 1 inch apart for the effect, was really helpful. Like it made it way simpler. So I really hope this will not change.
Yeah.
It will make things more complicated.
I just won't go. And I know that's just I'm just one person being my toys out the pram, but just like be sensible.
So
like
you say
don't
vote with our feet.
Yeah, vote with our feet. And contact your TOs. Like if your local TO is going to be like, they're going to FAQ it anyway. They've made that quite clear that they're going to FAQ the terrain, but just don't let it. Like the new mystical terrain table though is cool. Like an extra 6 effects. I'm all about that. Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my God, Nathan, tell them.
Yeah, so there's 6 new ones on top. There's
On top.
So 12 all in all.
So you've got 12 altogether. So you're going to need another set of the
2d6.
dice or some.
6 more pictures.
Yeah. So it's going to be a choice of 2d6 or one of 2d6. So yeah, you've got one that gives you a free command point if your general's near it. You've got one that slows you down running and charging.
By 2.
Yeah, by 2. So -2 to run and charge.
So if you're short and ugly, it halves your movement, right, Rob?
And then you've got volcanic ones, which on a 6 or something do some mortal wounds, D3 mortal wounds or something like that, or 4 up or something. There's volcanic, entangling, volcanic, the command point
Healing.
one, a healing
Healing.
one.
Ooh. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
It's the same as if you're within.
And then there's a nullification one, which lets heroes nearby it do dispels.
Oh wow!
So yeah.
Oh no!
All of the new
nuances. It allows you to unbind. Yeah, if you already can unbind, it gives you an extra unbind, and any endless spell that ends within an inch of the terrain piece is automatically unbound. But like I saw being used at the weekend, which I thought was quite clever. Who did it? I can't remember who did it, but what you can do. Oh no, it wasn't actually even the weekend. It was my practice game against OJ on Friday. So if you move an endless spell off a board edge, so what he actually did quite cleverly was he put a pendulum out.
Free dispel, right?
And then to unbind it as it went off the board edge, which is clever. So you can, if you're planning on running a bunch of endless spells, you can do some very clever in-game things where you cast it, move it. And it'll have all of its effects end up in the terrain piece and unbind it, so you can have another go with it next turn, or have it not hit you back later on. So it's a cool. I like the new features loads.
They sound really strong though. I think they're going to.
It will change the game.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think that they're really gonna hurt the armies that don't have like strong magic, and they're gonna buff things like Legions of Nagas, like
That's fine,
things
don't
that
worry.
don't have to roll for their spells.
Well, the nullification thing will be better for non-magic armies anyway, because you get extra dispels and unbinds just by standing there. You don't need to be a wizard to use them.
Oh,
So
really nice.
yeah.
But like, yes,
So
No, it's actually it's also a bonus
some really like
for non
strong endless spells that need like an unbind of 8 that you cannot change the dices.
Yeah.
So you really have to roll the dice. You can't. It will be made easier to dispel it and then use it again. I don't know. We'll see.
Definitely. If I see it's on the table, I would want the nullification to be in my opponent's territory.
Yeah.
Because then it's like you say, it's a tool you can use then to recycle endless spells.
Yeah.
Also, it's good one because now it's magic heavy the game, the meta magic heavy as I see, and some armies. They don't have this opportunity to cut off summon spells.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
Yeah, so you'll be able to, like with your heroes, your priests, you'll be able to do an unbind.
The slaughter priest, they make one unbind, okay, but...
So can we talk about slaughter priest unbinding a spell and also then casting 3 spells I can't do anything about? Fuck you.
You are too small, I cannot see you. Sorry.
Wow.
So how does this terrain work? If I have 5 heroes, I have 5 dispels now, or just
If you're
one?
around it, yeah.
So there's no.
Maybe no, because
rule of one.
No.
I can stack up my heroes and have like.
You may
6
pick one hero within.
will have one dispel.
matter how
We'll
many-
read it and get back to you on that.
All right.
Yeah, which is fun.
That's interesting.
Well,
Really
regarding
interesting.
spells, it's not only if you have a wizard in your army or not, because if you don't have bonuses, to cast spells, modifiers, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Because many armies have wizards, but they can't cast the spells. If the spell is on 7, you can rely on it. You
Yeah,
can
but
make a list.
50
Do you know the
that
best
will-
way to cast a spell is the best way to cast a spell is what you do is you just pick the result.
Yeah.
Like James. Yeah, exactly. My word.
Let's play a game that you roll dice without rolling dice. That's perfect.
Listen, I think it's dumb too. Yeah, and every time I'm going to be like, "Fuck you, I'm cheating." It's stupid. Right. Okay. So let's talk about that. We've moved on a little bit from the terrain features,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, so it's, it is. So what it, just for clarification, so what it does is it gives you any heroes from your army. So it only works in your enemy's hero phase.
Alright.
So any heroes from your army within 1 inch of the terrain feature, one of them can attempt to unbind one spell in the same manner as a wizard. Oh, stupid English language. If they can already unbind a spell, they can attempt to unbind an additional spell. In addition, if an inner spell that is set up or finishes a move within an inch of the terrain feature, it is dispelled.
Oh, also setup.
Yeah.
Okay, so that puts some really interesting stuff to the game as well.
Because you can hide on the terrain, knowing
Yeah.
that the spells are coming and they can't get near it.
Well, so they'll still finish their
Oh,
move.
yeah.
So what they'll do, so if you have like a pendulum, you can fly it into somebody, hit them with it, so they're on
And
the
then
terrain.
then
It finishes its move, so it does its effect, and then it's dispelled.
Dispelled.
Yeah.
So you have the chance again to
Yeah.
to recast it. Yeah, after.
Yeah. So or if you've got like geminids, fly them into your opponent, hit them with the geminids. You're all -1, but then you can charge your army in, knowing that if you win the turn and you want to carry on, you're not going to get smacked
Yeah,
in the
that's
face
interesting.
But they will
by
hurt
the
you, yeah.
geminids, yeah.
It hits you and then it's gone.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's a big game changer.
Yes.
So
Huge. Actually.
yeah. So yeah, in that way, it's exciting to see the new ones, but it'd be interesting to see if after we've had a few games with them, if they may be too strong, like how Damn Terrain used to be and Mystical Terrain used to be. They used to be that much of a game changer that it sometimes made games shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Depends the army. Yeah.
I mean, do we not think they missed a trick though? Because obviously GW have their own dice for the first 6, and when the handbook come out, you'd think they'd bring another 6 dice.
6 dice for the.
I've not seen anything about new dice for new terrain at all. Like, surely that'd be the easiest thing to do.
Such nice pictures as well.
There's a big question. Hi, Jonathan, in the chat. Also, hello everyone on the chat. We love you guys. Thanks for being here. Yeah, the Greekapalooza. What was I going to say? Yeah, I'm looking forward to using it, but it's weird that they haven't brought out dice with with the pictures on. So that's the question. Do you guys prefer pictures or words on your terrain dice?
Numbers.
Yeah.
Numbers?
Just numbers.
What the fuck?
No, that's just him. No.
What do you prefer? Numbers, pictures, or words? I didn't know numbers was an option until now.
Well, words would be easier, but it will probably get in the way somehow.
One is damned. Two is
Pictures would be the easiest, but
3
the
inspiring.
How would pictures be the easiest?
For the
Greeks,
because
hieroglyphics.
they
Okay,
don't-
I get it.
No, I mean like they don't get in the way of miniatures unless the card is really small or whatever. But the best one would be the word, because every single game I have a screenshot of the terrain. We're all okay. What's which? Oh, I don't know. Let's check the picture. Like oh, this is that. Wait.
Or you can use a number and remember.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's more,
Or a picture and remember.
It's very small.
Also,
Yeah,
It's very tiny.
Let me tell you one thing. So this is what happens to players that don't play 2 war scroll lists. They have to remember lots of rules. I know you don't know it, but
No words for you. just this.
all right. So yeah, but moving on. I think actually playing at Warhammer World is the worst way to play a game of Warhammer on the tabletop. For me, I think I would rather play with Coke cans on a piece of MDF, like, because it's like more functional.
I wouldn't go so far, but
I'd push it.
Improvements surely can be made.
Okay.
A thing that annoyed me was at the corners of the tables.
You can't deploy anything on them.
Yeah, my units
Yeah,
were
yeah.
sliding all
Slip,
the
yeah.
time. And that takes a lot from the fun because you lose time to try to put the models on there, try to move them, have them stay on it. It's a bit tedious.
Yeah, I mean, I think the easiest way, obviously, because they don't want to get rid of all the Realm of Battle boards, because it's a lot of tables. They just need to put sand or
You
grit
can use
or
the new ones. The new ones is flat.
To work as a grip for the
yeah,
models.
yeah, because they could use the new ones. So that means chucking out every table there, and that's a lot of money. I think just chuck some sand down, so grit.
Well,
granite,
they
stuff like
could
that.
donate.
They just gave
could
£5 million
donate the
in
old
bonuses.
tables to clubs all over the world. It would
Yeah,
be nice.
yeah. There you go. Well done. Then don't just throw it out. Give it to kids. Give it to schools. Like they've got a school program. Like do anything with it. But like you're playing, it's the most premium. Anyway, I'll move on from it. I just wanted it said because I think. Oh, go on after you.
No.
But do you? We were talking about the model sliding
yes,
down.
as I told before, that in the new era of the Warhammer have plenty monsters with some, some extensions like spear something like this. If you try to put it in the corner, so not possible. Also, yesterday I faced one thing that we try to put the objective, but actually we can't because every time moving. So every time when I like to approach to see if I have the contested objective, I try to with my opponent. Make the measurement, put it, keep it like this, and after we try to see, okay, now I have 6, but before it's 1 inch to me, okay? And we make every time measurements, we lose a lot of time. And the model, it's, let's say coming one hobbyist that he care more about the conversions, they make one really great conversion, and he is forced to put there for some reason, for any reason, and suddenly slipped and come down and break apart. So what you are going to tell to this guy? You make, let's say, you spend about 12 hours to make this conversion, and for 1 sec, slip down, and boom, this is it. So it's not harmful, this one. It's not so practical. Okay, we'll see that it's a great terrains.
And it's a matter of time also.
Yeah, because every time if you like to try to pre-measure and measure and put again the objective, it's not so easy because you try to think your strategic, what you are going to do next.
Stops the game and delays it.
There's also less board space. Like there's less board space because you like I won't put stuff on hills or like there's whole areas where it's like difficult. Anyway, like I think I've laboured the point enough, but I just want But again, I just want like you guys obviously travelled over, which is amazing, and I'm sure being at Warhammer World is great. It's inside a castle. It's just I just want everyone to be publicly aware that in my opinion, it's the worst place to play because of the boards. But it's a great place to play because of the place. But the actual boards suck.
Yeah, it's also the feeling inside there. It's just like also the feeling than where you play in the Warhammer world. It's really amazing.
Yeah. It's a great feeling. So you want it to be like a premiere, right? So anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up.
I don't know if that would be possible, but having the experience from the Blood Tithe, the tables there had an extra space for like. I don't remember how much was it, but you could put your tape measures, your list up there, your coffee, your water, everything. It was really handy. It changed the experience. Like having the extra space, it's really, really useful.
Yeah, they have that. They have that at Element Games, and they had obviously Mark set that up at Blood Tithe. So you're talking about like a foot gap or a 2 foot gap between the tables.
Yes.
And then it's just huge. You got a summoning pool. You put it on the side. Endless spells. Put them on the side. Dead pile goes to the side.
Right.
Your dice, your tape measure, bunch of stuff, and it's just hugely problematic. It is very also cramped. So my public plea would be to Games Workshop to make a better event by just sorting out your boards and having less people in there. Because it was very also close. Although I didn't mind being close to most of those lads. I love you. I'll get a little bit touchy-feely with all you boys.
We love you too, man.
I looked like you got a little bit close on Friday night there, didn't you?
That's the problem. Them London boys, they don't like cheek. Should we talk about the games? Or have you got more to say about the actual
mentioned
event?
before about the time. I firmly believe that the way the game is now, 2.5 hours are not enough. On any tournament I organize, because we are also our guild, Demonic Pigeon. We organize some tournaments, and I give 3 hours to the players. I don't want games to finish at the third turn. It's not right.
Yeah.
It's not fair. And because of all these horde armies which emerged in the last year, there are many times where games end on the third turn, and I saw it many times on stream, on games on stream, on Warhammer TV, and other streams. 2.5 hours, the way the game is now, is not enough. At the beginning of Age of Sigmar, there weren't so many hordes.
Especially if you're wanting to like play the game instead of it being an exercise in just rolling dice.
Yes.
Like me and Dennis had a great game in game 2 where I mean, our first turns were what, 5 minutes? Our first turn was like a 5 minute each.
Yes.
But then we barely finished the game when it got to it because we were making decisions. It was really exciting. And even turn 2 wasn't very long.
No. You just put the bait and that was it.
I did put the bait.
And it's not also the game time. You know, when you meet your opponent, because Age of Sigmar has so many armies, you have to explain what your army does, to be fair. And that takes time. And with all the realm rules,
I mean,
suddenly...
it doesn't take you as long to explain, right? Because you've only got the 2 things to...
Yeah.
I fly across the board, I kill
sure
everything, and I also do mortal wounds. That's my list. Let's play.
I kill you.
Also, the summon now pretty.
Run and charge and 14 move with fly is not enough, so I also get plus bonuses to the charge. So I'm really positive that I cannot fail. And in my war scroll, I also have reroll the charges. So because I just charge with +6 with 14 movement and run. I have to have some chance to
He only says that because he gets butt fucked with my Idoneth every time we play.
I've never, not a single fucking game. There have been games that I've lost all priorities. There have been games that I've won all priorities. Never won him once.
He has nightmares.
Yeah, I'm thinking of not going to the sea this summer. I don't want to see anything in the sea.
Okay. Should we talk quickly about the weekend?
Yeah, sure.
And about like what happened, and I know you guys weren't there, but we will try and get you in on the jokes. As there were, it was packed. There were loads of great people. Like big shout out to anyone who I saw who was there, who came and said hello. There was loads of really great guys. It was really loads of great girls too. So sorry. But yeah, it was really packed, and the atmosphere was great. Yeah, I thought, really, really good. So I was pleased to be there. And my first game, I'm going to rifle through my games. I play Warhammer Rob, who listens, who I think he's in the chat. Lovely man. He had flesh-eater courts though, so fuck him. Yeah, right. But no, really, really nice.
He was one of these guys.
Yeah, one of those guys. But also, I'd like to say a personal big shout out to him because he's gave me my first win against flesh-eater courts, which was great. He took the first turn, ran across, and went to double dragon me. Took my bait, which is good. And I had like another bait. I've got some pictures. I might do like a little quick thing on it. But I had a unit 35 glaives that I was giving up basically. And then what was really nice of Rob was he decided to just whiff all of his attacks and do not in. So the first round of combat, he killed the screen. And then the bait was the unit behind it. And then he was like, oh, they're in 3 inches. I was like, I know, that's okay. I want you to do that. And he was like, well, I'll take it. But then he can only do the more, right? So he did the more. Well, after he moved 3, he could only do the more. I did the more and then just did nothing. Not one wound.
How polite of him.
How so polite of him. And I was like, I can't shoot you with 50 fire glaives. I can shoot you with, 45 glaives. I can shoot you with 70. This is so much better. So a big shout out to him. I really appreciated that. Which I enjoyed. And also my first win against flesh-eater courts, which was fun. And then I got to play one of you guys, didn't I? I got to play Seraphon, which is fun.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing some ugly miniatures over the weekend. It must have been you.
Wow!
Not the painting, not the conversion, just the army.
That's the army.
I started with Dispossess, so it only makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, also you guys are rubbish. But you and me played Seraphon versus Legion of Magical, but it was taken hold.
Yes.
But what was fun is because there's the 12 Pterodons in
the Shadow Strike.
In the Shadow Strike, I could never leave my objective. And I was really lucky there was a piece of mystical terrain that all of my 30 block were on. So on 3-up save with Mystical. So I was like pretty safe. But then what was really good, and I was really impressed by, was I put out, on my first turn, I had my 6 Kadai. So I have a 12 and a 6. So I ran my 6 Kadai up. First turn, because he gave me the first turn.
Yes.
And I was like, that's fine, not a problem. I just ran up 6 Kadai, put the shaman in the middle, and then I was just like, your turn.
Cast a boat, I think, the first turn.
Oh yeah, cast the boat. But I cast the boat, check this out, in my own deployment zone. They didn't move it.
Just let it there.
Just left it there, right? Then you took the turn. You were like, well, I won't move either, right? Because I was hoping that he would just, because I left it a really weak right-hand flank. Because I was like, come on, throw your 9 Croxagore in here, your Shadow Strike here, and I'm going to shoot you and fight you, and then I'm going to come and win the game. And then he went, fuck off. And just stayed in his deployment zone, didn't you?
I also casted my cogs.
You did also do that?
Yeah. And took some summoning points.
Yeah, you
I was
did.
perfectly fine.
Yeah, but,
Slow down time.
Yes.
Yeah.
and then I won priority for turn 2, and then I gave it to you.
And he
And-
used the boat because you get to move it. And he moved one of his fire glaives. It was really, really good.
So I moved 25 glaives by giving him the turn.
Yeah.
That's cool, right? That's quite a cool move, which I thought was quite techie. And then you did some shooting. You tried to kill the fire glaives, but obviously you can't kill them because they're basically indestructible.
No. I did 3 rounds of shooting, rerolling everything with Razordons, with Salamanders, with Fortis Kings, and those guys that didn't give a fuck. After 3 rounds, 7 were still there being like,
Like
I don't care. They just didn't.
So then he hadn't taken the bait on the left hand flank with the 6 Kadai and the thingy. So then on my turn 2, I was like, right, because I was close enough now, so I'll do the Wildfire Taurus, tried to send it through his lines. Didn't get it. So I was like, fine. So I just moved even further up. Priority roll came, and then you won. And then you charged, into the Kadai.
Yes. they
Killed
were
all the Kadai apart from
almost
one.
outside of my line,
Yeah,
They were really close.
I was very, very close. Killed them all apart from, but the Zangor Shaman was still alive. So my hero phase came. Tried to do the bull again. No dice, Nelly. So I'm the rest of my army, and then the 25 glaives are moving up. The rest of my army is still sat, just like, come on, pterodons, like a bus that you're waiting for. You're like, oh my god, yeah, like,
Come on, it's your time now.
yeah, this like, so, and you can't leave, which is a cool thing about like that scenario in our armies, right?
Yes. It was really interesting.
It was really, really interesting. And then I also ran the Zangor Shaman away. So Zangor Shaman now was like an inch away from your back line.
Yes.
He's just stood on terrain, like right next to the cogs. He's like, I'm going to use this later. This is going to be great. And then the Kadai ran off as well, like, because I was like, oh, fuck, he might come down to the minor. So then the Kadai was like, I'm just on my own now. You can't get the points off me. And then then the next 2 turns went by really. You move forward a bit.
Yes, just to kill the damn fire, those 20 guys that were looking at me. I so want to kill them and then retreat back. And then I did a mistake. It was like the first major mistake I did that I didn't get punished for it in the last 6 months because I checked my notebook.
Yeah.
It was the first time in 6 months that I didn't get punished. I wouldn't drop my pterodons to his side because I would instantly lose the points and lose the game for sure. So I was planning to just drop them on my deployment to not lose the points of having them on the reserves. And then on the 4th round, while I say that, all right, I'll just throw them now, drop the Mordons to the Shaman, take the points of the Shaman, have him off my region and get over with this. Yeah. I was like, no, it's okay, I'll drop them on turn 5. And then
Yeah.
oh my god! And then go on.
Yeah. So the whole point is like because had I won the priority for the other
Someone
turn.
survived with 1 wound. He was inside building this cheeky summon with 1 wound after all this shooting and some Croxagore fighting.
1 shaman on 1 wound. So then he does the wildfire Taurus. He's just hitting everything, just like going for a ball. This is on turn 4. But had I won turn 3 priority, there was the 6 Kadai that could have just gone through. And like they would have just been like fighting, right? And then maybe the pterodons had to come, but like it was a threat. So I was in this I thought a good position. And then because you never go for the minor on take and hold. That's just the coward's path, right? That's the coward's path, right? So then it comes to turn 4 and the shaman's there. So I was like, bull. So then I boated the Kadai, lost a Kadai, ran them forward, like charged in, hit loads of stuff, got the priority, did some shooting with those guys. A couple of fire glaives are still alive. And importantly, they'd taken his Ashloth Bannerbearer down to 1 wound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
After
for-
the saves, I was like, oh, just have a 3+, a 2. And I'm like, but he rolls a D3, I only have 2 wounds. He rolls a 1. I'm like, yes. If I lost a banner bearer, it would be 420 to my 360, so it was a minor loss for me. Like, yes, he survives. I'm like, no, on a 2+, you get a mortal wound. And he rolls a dice. I was like, fuck, no.
Because he was so excited because he'd won. He's like, I've won this now.
Yeah.
You haven't killed him. I was like, don't forget 2+, 1 more wound. He was like,
And I
no.
see him roll a dice, but there were too many miniatures in front, and I couldn't see the result. I was like, what was it? What was it? It's a 1! Yes! It was the best game.
It was a great game. So basically, it came down to a dice roll I had a 1 in 6 chance to lose. It was only a minor win either way, but still, it was great. It was a great game. So thank you very much for the game.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
And
it
I'll
was
never
fun.
leave. I'll never wait for the 5th round again. I'll just drop the Deradons on the 4th round. It will never come to this. Never. I won't risk it again. Just throw them and let them be. Come on.
But it's hard. Like Shadow Strike's quite in take and hold. It's always threatening your back objective because there's not like a minimum time. And so I really liked it, like as an army, and like because other armies pose other problems, right? For, like, can I clear them off the objective? That's why I like take and hold, because I think it's probably one of the most chessy scenarios.
Especially the old one that requires five or more, and none of the opponents.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really hard.
Because you basically go, can I take that? That's what you like. You deploy and you go, can I take that? And the opponent's like, can I take that? And then you're both challenging. Yeah. Like I honestly think that's a fantastic scenario, because you're playing a different game to most of the other games, right? It's not really it's not really a trade. It's a whole army trade. I fucking love that. So thank you so much for the game. One of the best games of Warhammer I've had in my whole life. And then
really, I did.
but then it got me so excited that I went to play Colin Cochrane the next turn. And Colin Cochrane, famously, the last time I played him, played Vanguard Wing. And then it was such a painful experience. I had to go to hospital that night to get some medicine for a toothache that I was suffering with that day. And I played Colin, and we were playing Total Commitment. And you can't deep strike in Total Commitment, which is important. And he was playing the Fire Slayer block. So 30 Fire Slayers and Magmadroth. So they all deployed on one flank. And on the left-hand flank, there were just 10 other Berserkers and some Hearthguard, I think. So then I put 18 Kadai on one flank, and then just like 20 shooter guys on the other flank, like defending it, with 30 in the middle trying to get boated around. And then Colin's first turn, he was like, all right, okay, I'm going to run and charge. I was like, Ash Storm. He was like, which makes you not be able to run. So then Colin had to experience what movement 4 was like, having played Daughters of Cain. And he was like, oh no, you're going to take me gold. Right, so he moved up a bit, and he's in the chat. He's a wonderful man. He's a wonderful man. And then he moved forward again, Ash Storm. So just movement 4, and then my Kadai. By the way, just 10 dwarves, just 10 of them, nearly beat up all 18 Kadai on the left-hand flank. They were unreal. Yeah, like it was insane. 10 of them. Like, well, there was a 10 and a 5, and they just battered the Kadai. There was like 3. I was like, I don't think I'm even. I was like, what the fuck is this? It's like he had like, and I was like, there's 30 of those dicks on the other side. This is awful. But I was like, thank God they could only move 4 inches. And then it came down to, and then at this point, I was just feeling really shitty because I felt it was really hot in the hall, but turns out it wasn't very well. And then I just ran off, and then I went and was sick. And then I came back, and then Colin ran a Magmadroth, used a command point to move 6, run and charge, 3-inch charge to get into my dwarves to win on the right-hand flank, and then rolled a double 1. Then I ran to the toilet and was sick again. Like,
Tradition,
yeah, I was like, fucking hell, Colin. And then Colin came outside and sat with me, and we had like a big drink. And he was a lovely, lovely man. And he brought me a water, and he didn't give a fuck about the game. Didn't care about it at all. He just wanted to make sure I was okay. And he's a wonderful man. He looks exactly like Nathan, but he just sounds like the man from the Lucky Charms advert. But he's a wonderful person. I just want to say thank you. And all of Northern Ireland's super lucky to have him as a person. And again, I then didn't make it for the second day, so that's why I just rifled through mine. I didn't. So Colin, once again, is if ever I play Colin third game of a Saturday, I've never made it to a Sunday yet. I don't know what he's done, but he's basically...
He's Rob's Bane.
Yeah, he's like a...
He brought you the water, didn't he?
No, he brought me the water after I was sick. Yeah, he just kept nothing. He just kept shouting, "Me gold, me gold!" But he's a fucking legend, and like,
amazing accent from Northern Ireland again.
yeah, this is it, tar. I'm so good at accents. But anyway, I just need to say thank you to him. Like, he's a fucking great guy. So, and again, just shows how good Warhammer is, right? Anyway, I don't have to do any more talking now, and then I was sick for the rest of the day, and I watched Warhammer TV, and James Tinsdale did really good at commentating. So, I mean, their sound was awful, and the camera was really weird, but James did a great job commentating. Well done. Also, Andy Hughes, you're great at Warhammer. Well done. Yeah, you're great shit. Yeah. So you guys, tell us about your
Yeah.
games and what you think.
So if you just run through all 3 games like Rob did,
Right.
yeah, just
Well,
rough idea, yeah.
My first game was with a fine gentleman named Angus. I can't remember his surname.
Okay.
He brought an order
Yeah,
list,
black.
mixed order list, with shooting. He had a unit of 9 Khorne hunters, a unit of 20 Arcanant Company, another unit of 10 Arcanant Company, 5 rivers of Sweethawk agents, 5 the warlocks from Daughters of Cain,
Yeah.
a Celestial Hurricanum with a Celestial Battle Mage on top, 1 Archmage, and can't remember anything else.
Every gun possible.
Sounds,
Yeah. Oh, and other chemist.
Cool. Yeah.
So it was a very bad matchup for him because on the first scenario was we deployed on the side, not the normal deployment.
So battle for the past style.
Yeah. So I deployed my line of Island Guard, and he shoot, and they didn't die because on the first battle round they have cover, so it's 3+, ignoring rend.
Yeah.
So he killed. He even killed more than I thought, like 4 of them. I rushed through, and then I won the priority roll, and I was on him.
And just finish.
He had very nice rolls. His Khorne hunters were near a mystical terrain, and he had cast the spell of the Archmage, the Elemental Shield, so they had 6+, 6+.
Yeah.
And they got to reroll save. So after I charged with my Morsar Guard, I just couldn't break them. So the battle went on, but he was on the back foot due to the nature of the list, because Idoneth are very good against shooting armies.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any room for him to maneuver. So I just ran through him, and it ended like this. No, he had no real chance because of the lists. He's a very good player. His list, I think, was very good, very nice shooting. But against Idoneth, especially in this scenario, it wasn't. Chances was not stacked for him. On my second game, I played. Can't remember the order. There was.
I always write it down.
Yeah.
So take and hold.
Yeah. Oh, I played against a guy named, I can't remember his name, but he played Skaven Tide.
Oh, okay.
Rob,
Yeah.
can I have my cell phone?
He had 1 unit of 40 clan rats, 2 units of 20 clan rats, 1 unit of 40 plague monks, the warp seal
Yeah.
with his damned artifact with the extra 5-up
Suspicious
invulnerable
stone.
save.
Yeah,
Yeah. Very suspicious.
Suspicious.
Yeah. And he also had the Corruptor, the Vermin Lord, a Grey Seer on Screaming Bell, a Grey Seer on Foot, a Warlock Engineer, the old one, not the new one from the box, the new, and a Warp Lightning Cannon, of course the Vortex.
What?
Yeah.
I know, right?
I was shocked myself.
Obviously a fluff game.
He has the Ether Void Pendulum and the Geminids. So he deployed his 40 clan rats up front, his 20 and 20 in the back to protect himself, because I had 1 unit in the Either Sea with my Soul Scryer. So I went and attacked his units of 40 clan rats. The first turn was a bit defensive, and then I went back and killed his 20 clan rats, his 40 clan rats. I charged which was a bad decision with my Island Guard, the defensive heals. I charged his Warp Seer. Did 1 wound with 8 Island Guard on the charge.
You do the electric as well.
No, that's
they don't have it.
defensive ones.
While I don't root for Skaven, after having my army disappearing so many times due to his charge, it feels so nice.
Yeah, fuck.
Just one wound. Yes, yes.
And in the first turn, he teleported his Corruptor and did some spells on my Achillean King because he had the 2 Gnoholes on each corner of my deployment zone. So I put one Tidecaster in one hole and the Achillean King on the other. So he couldn't teleport. I shut it off. He tried with the Corruptor to kill my Achillean King to release this Gnohole. Failed to do so. Failed to charge. And then I proceeded with a unit of Morsar Guard and murdered him.
Good.
Really? Just took out the whole lot.
The Corruptor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Corruptor is nothing because
Yeah.
I play Dormheim and they get reroll ones to charge and they get reroll wound rolls for monsters. And the Morsar Guard are very powerful anyway, but with reroll to wounds, they just kill almost any monster.
Yeah.
Just a unit of 6 Morsar can kill almost any monster.
Yeah.
And then I kept the pressure, but I used my teleport from the Ether Sea and use a second unit of Morsar Guard to try and charge with 6+ on the charge his third unit of 20 clans behind, and I needed a 6 with reroll. I failed, and that enabled him to have a unit of 20 clans and his unit of 40 plague monks, which the plague monks killed the Island Guard.
Yeah.
And it went at the beginning, at the end, at the beginning of the 4th battle round. Whoever won the priority roll had the ability to have 5 models on both objectives.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We rolled. I rolled the 3. He rolled the 6. He won.
Yeah.
On the 3rd battle, I played against a very nice guy. Very sorry, I can't remember these guys' names.
That's okay. They probably don't remember yours.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
To Imperial's pimp
Thanks, Imperial Pimp Slap, for whatever you did.
subscribe.
Subscribing and for your lovely name. Yeah.
Great.
There we go. Sorry, carry on.
So this guy had a unit, Beastmen,
Yeah.
Beasts of Chaos, but with Bulgors. He had 2 units of 6 Bulgors.
This is my favorite, and I like to tell to our captain. Now I believe that
He loves him. He wants to marry him.
This Bulgors and Dumbul is one of my favorite units. Really.
Okay.
I think Tabakis now will listen this one, and he will one day maybe he will understand.
Tabakis is the other guy, the 4th.
Yeah, this is our captain. Yeah.
And
Does he like them?
no, here's the internal joke. Every time he wants to make a list, he's loving the Bulgars, big, strong, let's kill them. And Kostas is like, yeah, sure, make them. I love winning on 2nd round. It's the best thing ever. It really works for me.
But you like them because you're an Orcs player.
Yeah, I really big and muscular.
Yes.
And what did you say about him
With
earlier?
low IQ. Yeah, she's exactly the Orc thing.
No matter the IQ, it's about isn't it what left.
Yeah.
If you don't have the head, so what do you need to think?
Every time he's mad, we're like, oh, he gets green again. There we go.
So you got to play against a war herd.
Oh,
Yeah.
you played against Jabber AoS.
Oh, he's in the chat.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah, it was a nice guy with tattoo on his hands.
He's on Twitter. You can be friends.
Oh, sure, yeah.
go. Finally, he gets to have friends. So nice.
Yeah. I'm so happy.
He said, it's an awesome game, a gentleman, a very good player, and a beautiful army.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate.
Also, congrats to this man
So,
that came down with the Bulgurs.
He had
And
he
also
had
a good one.
a unit of 6 Bulgors with shields another 6 units of Bulgors with great weapons, 2 Gorgons. Wow. Yeah.
He was the man.
Muscle round.
Well, they have a very nice ability. The ability which can eat one model, and he used it, and he can break your coherency. So you can lose half your unit if you're not careful. Because if you pile in and you have a unit which is not a 40, a unit of like the eels, which it's a line of them, and I pile in and do my damage, then he eats one of them, and I lose half the unit.
Cool story, bro.
It's not
Yeah.
it's not perhaps as strong as the other guy with a rock.
Sigor.
The Sigor, yes. But it has a cool ability, and I think it was a nice addition to his army. He also had 10 Gors, 2 units of 5 Centigors, a Shaman on Disc of Genes, the Genes one. That's about it, I think.
The bull?
And 2 the characters.
No, the Wildfire Taurus.
No,
No.
Spell, no.
No.
Dumbul?
2 Dumbles.
Yeah.
2 Doombles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the joy in your face.
Yeah.
Two new balls,
I-
that's it, I'm happy. It's fine.
Yeah, like kudos to him for the list building. Like make something that
Yeah.
nobody plays but actually works. Because
Yeah,
he
he
gives
used-
him a tough matchup.
He used an ability Dark Stalkers, and he could remove a unit from the table and have it come back on the next turn, which is not as powerful as it is to just teleport a unit, but it can protect your unit from being attacked. You know, you can remove it, have the other guy play, nothing to kill, then you come down and charge him, and he also had cogs. So with if he casts the cogs, and with someone there's a good chance he does it. He can do it from the first battle round.
6, half to the banner.
You have charge on the 7, but because the Bulgors have +1 to charge, it's on a 6. So there are very good chances. And if they had the character with them, you get a reroll with the command point. So
Live long the king.
it's all great.
You're a big fan.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's not
And-
only about, sorry, I interrupt you. It's not only about that you transfer one unit, you disappear one unit, and you leave the board freely, and after this guy afraid. But it's also the moving. When you are trying, you have one plan in your head, and suddenly you see that, let's say, 6 Bulgors just disappeared. After you are not so safe, so you don't leave your objectives uncovered. So you need to stay back a little bit.
It has a psychological threat. Like
Yeah.
So no matter the fact that he lost due to victory points, because I had great mobility and I could protect easily both of my all my objectives. He was deployed in a corner. He smacked my army to pieces.
Yeah?
Yes, but with this list, I lose sometimes, of course, by the objectives, but I usually beat the other army up.
Yeah.
So this time, he beat me up.
Which is war herds is like we don't hear about that, right? Like
Yes,
it's a
yes.
big
No.
deal.
Not for now.
Not for now, no.
Soon.
Soon.
2020, blood tide.
Also, you can follow that guy on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's at JabberAOS, and he always just makes really salient points online. And we only met each other we met each other once 3 years ago, and then I always thought he was a really smart fella. And then I saw him again this weekend, and again, everything I've seen him say online always makes sense. He asks solid questions.
Great guy.
Yeah.
We had a great battle. It was tons of fun.
Yeah, sweet. Well, keep going. Keep telling us more. Sorry, I was just interrupting.
That's it for the first day.
Okay, good. All right. You two.
all right.
Okay, so I will start mine.
You don't need to know much about your
I like to apologize for all my enemies. I can't remember the names because I feel so excited this time. I like to meet new guys, to talk about the armies. It was everything fine. So I don't keep the names in my mind. So, but I remember the armies. This is very important. So my first game did not start really well because when I tried to deploy.
By the way, his name is Andy. He happened to be third for the second time.
Yeah, you played
yeah.
Andy Hughes.
Yeah.
And we met him at Blooded. We played at the 4th round of Blooded. He's an excellent guy, perfect guy.
He's
really good
terrible
player.
at eating curries, though.
Or tequila.
Yeah. Two things.
Tequila kills
Yeah, he can't eat curries or tequila. He's terrible at both. So
Yeah. No, he's just amazing. This guy. He explained me all that when we set up. I don't know the army because before in Greece we don't play much Idoneth Deepkin, and I don't know exactly the abilities. Just I hear some rumors. I don't read so much. Yeah, they heard a lot. Yeah, more than I believe. And I told him, sorry, man, but I don't know exactly what army does. So you need to explain me. I said, no problem. I will tell you everything. He's just an amazing guy.
He is a good guy.
And but the problem for me start before even we start the game, because when I put my minis on table, I just pull out my centerpiece, the Bloodthirster of Instant Rage, and have no wings. Ooh. Both wings were off.
they fell off.
Yeah, and so I said, what? You like to be Scarbrand? No. You know, it's difficult. I said, because have the glue with him. I said, bring me the glue. No, later. And in this game,
You
due
lost
to the
'cause you had
wings,
no-
100%
everyone needs
psychological
wings.
effect. So it was
No
a great
wings, no
game.
win.
Khorne did not approve.
Yeah, 100% totally. So the game goes quite quickly. He liked to come close to me. I like to come close to him, but
Then he
it's
he
not
likes
a
to fight
favor.
first.
It's not favor of Khorne,
Yeah.
my side. But anyhow, Khorne he doesn't care from where the blood flows, so he will be pleased. Yeah. Anyhow.
Is that when they were strong though? Did you think they were strong?
Yeah, it's strong, and still I'm trying to think what I can make better things. But this pile-in, but attack first. This ability, maybe it's not attack first. That I strike last.
Yeah.
This is even better.
Take the Warherds, take the Bull Centaurs, and take the Wildfire Taurus. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%
you're like, yeah,
totally,
yeah.
totally.
But you can ally that into Khorne. You can
Warherds.
ally in Zinch,
Yeah.
and then you could ally in the Wildfire Taurus.
You just want to take lots of balls, don't you?
Yeah, I prefer brush the spoilers.
Someone wants to know what's in your list. What's in your list?
My list was Incessant Rage. I play the Slaughterhorsed Reaper of Vengeance because I like the anti-magic stuff, and in 2+ have this amazing artifact that protects you from the effects and the mortal goods from spells and endless
spells.
endless spells. Yeah.
Endless that's
Splash. Either
So we
I
can't
cannot
talk
even
either.
pronounce the spells. Something is not clear for me about me. So I play the
This
Gore Pilgrim Battalion, one Blood Secretor, 2 Slaughter Priest, 2 units of 10 Blood Warrior, and 1 Blood Rivers. You know, the minimum I require. But really, I love Blood Warriors. This effect that in 6s unmodified bring back mortals.
Yeah.
And after the no respite ability that when they die, I hit back. This is very important for me. I like this one.
Because it hits them back. That's all you
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
I'm going to
I
hit
roll
you
some
back. it's
really
fine.
dark dices. Okay,
Yeah.
this is for Khorne.
Yeah.
And I make one combo that I have also Wrathmongers, a unit of 5 man, and what else? 6 Skull Crushers. Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. They got also the Skulls, the Nightmare of Jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for all the wizards, and also the Wrath Axe. Also, this one amazing, but it's not so it's not so stable because you need 5 up in order to cast it. But it's okay. It's really strong.
I mean, I played against that. I did
Yeah.
a lot
You
of
move it
damage to my
6,
Terror,
and
you
you just pass through
Yeah.
2 ups D3, and when they place there in 3 inches
Right.
distance, pick one unit, even it's one of the previous one that hit with D3, D6 in 2 ups.
Yeah.
And also, the most important of this, it's -1 to hit in all enemy units within 3.
I mean, it's 9 mortal wounds to my stuff,
the potential,
plus then
yeah.
the minus.
Yes.
I'm like,
This can fuck you up.
yeah, it really
It's-
has. Yeah.
It gives you the potential and the opportunity to hit something that's it's back from the lines.
Yeah.
Actually, Khorne need this.
It really does. Like that's
Yeah.
a lot.
Some support heroes.
It hurts.
It's like Far Slayer that need to come close to us,
Yeah.
and it's right behind the unit in order to buff it and give him some ward saves, like the Heretical Berserkers.
Yeah.
So it's cool stuff for me. I
Yeah,
have chances to remove this one.
It's the best. I think that's the best prayer, but you don't see it just because it's so hard to get off.
Yeah, in the end of the battle round,
Yeah.
I need to roll a dice, 5
Yeah.
up. But if I have a Slaughter Priest close, wholly within 8 inches, I need to roll 4. So it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
So
why
give a
not?
try. Yeah, you give a try.
You can't get stopped, so you might as well.
Yeah, and also I use one Bloodstalker. I need the speed.
Yeah.
I need it, and also I need one aspiring Deathbringer. So in my mind, I have one combo that because Khorne like to it's the murder everything. I said I'm not fast enough like the eels. I don't have the opportunity like the fly to pterodons everything.
No one is fast enough as the eels. No one.
Yeah, Daughters of
I go
Cain.
so fast up your ass.
Oh. So the Daughters of Cain run and charge. Some Beast of Chaos run and charge, except the Bulgors. Unfortunately, they are quicker than the Khorne. So I need to play more defensive. So my key units, it was these 2 units of the Blood Warriors. I said, they are going to die sooner or later. But when they die, they are going to hit back about 5 attacks per model. Banner, Mongers, and Aspiring Deathbringer. So it's okay, they will come for me, so I have to strike back.
Yeah.
Even if I die,
They're dead too.
yeah, they are dead too.
Yeah.
So as we make an inside joke before, I said I like the Blood Warriors because it reminds me one song of the Iron Maiden, The Trooper. You take my life, but I take it too. Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one. Anyhow, I managed to kill the hordes of the demonettes, but unfortunately, the big girl,
big one,
I don't
yeah.
know if it's girl or not, just smashed me.
secret.
Yeah, just smashed me to pieces.
The demon. So no gender.
Yeah.
I
No
think it's
gender.
pansexual.
Yeah.
It's even
That's
worse.
Pan's Labyrinth, that's what that is.
Hit like a Khorne, but thinks like a woman. This is even worse. So this was really
they hurt.
nasty. Yeah, I heard a lot. So the next time I have to be more prepared about this one. After this one, I felt a little bit strange. I said, I coming first time, very strong opponent, very gentle, and I feel a little bit strange. I said, I need to recover. I need to continue. Yeah.
You did end up playing one like the better players in the UK with an army that's arguably one of the best armies in the game.
Yeah,
So,
I
but
feel
you,
really
like,
proud about it.
yeah, but that's like a tough.
Yeah, I take some XP for this.
Like so that's a tough first matchup, right? Like, but so yeah, it's always hard, right? Especially like when you
Yeah.
come over. But Andy's tip top.
But
So.
in this tournament, you don't need to feel sad or something like this. You just keep going.
Yeah.
If you're going through hell, just keep going.
Yeah.
This is the normal guy, the normal way. So the second match, it was against Dispossessed.
Yes, I am so
First of all,
excited about this.
First,
You know, the one with the keyword Duardin and beautiful,
Yeah, it doesn't
not
say.
short and ugly.
You nearly made Nathan spit out his drink.
so first of all, yeah. I think I remember the surname of this guy. It's Ambrose, something like this. I don't remember exactly. As I saw it, it was the last guy of the tournament.
Okay, yeah.
0-5, yeah. But
Wait, he lost all of his games
yeah, fortunately.
at army selection.
Yeah, he told me
We
that.
just don't want to beat you and feel sorry. So we come, we say hello and go back. When you're that strong, you don't have to prove anything. You're the boss, you know it.
So we start the game. I have to say that this guy was the third or fourth.
It's Ambrose.
Yeah, this guy exactly.
Just wait for it, for what he's
Yeah.
about to say. Just
We
wait
start-
for it.
for it.
I feel a little bit weird, something like this, because when we start to play, after in the end, I will tell you exactly the story. So we deploy, everything is okay. We start. He told me that it's my third battle in Age of Sigmar, and I really played before Dispossessed, so it's my favorite. I just played Duardin.
Yeah.
I like it so much. I said this is very good for you because I like this kind of people. They don't care about the competition or something else. They come and they enjoy. As the game goes on, I see every time write something. He look at me and write something, and in the end, I put my Bloodthirster in one corner, and after Bloodthirster just take all his army alone, almost alone. But when we finish, he take the book and he will look at me and say, "Okay, great game, but now you are in my book of grudges." And I said, "Why like this?" I feel strange this time because in whole game and especially in 2 battle rounds, this bloodthirster make me 43 mortal wounds, and with splash damage. Because my bloodthirster this time have about 7 to 8 attacks due to this combo.
Yeah.
No, it was 7. 7, yeah, because aspirings give only to the mortals.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit strange. I roll 14 dice, 4 ups, and about the first to hit. Reroll once due to this ability from the Locus of Fury, and I come about 12 success. And in 2 ups, this is the strange. In 2 ups, I bring all of the dice, and about it was 6 to 7, 8 to 9 sixes for the splash damage. It was totally horrible about this. You just count how many mortals, and after, when they remove the casualties, I said, okay, dude, now you have to save them also. It's additional. So when you bring sixes, okay, you hit like 4 mortals, AoE. But now you have also
Explain the ability.
to save,
8
yeah.
inches from
Yeah, so
8 inches around the bloodthirster. Take 4 mortals if it's full heal.
each unit.
It's unit. It's
For
unit.
each
Yes.
6.
For each
For
six.
it's 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
So
roll
and then you still have
9.
to roll, and that's an addition. So then you still have
In
to
addition,
roll
so
to
after
save.
this one,
Yeah.
if something survives, you need also to save by -2 rent for d6 wounds.
So I will have written him not in the book of grudges, in the book of murder him at some point.
After the end of the tournament.
I'd have tattooed your name on my arm. Yeah.
With
Yeah.
blood.
Yeah.
With blood.
If you get Alzheimer or something, this guy needs to die right here, right here.
Yeah.
Also, can I just say congratulations? I'm really proud of you. Right.
About the Dwadun keyword only. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I just remember this game.
guy, though.
Yeah, we have a really great time. We explain.
I was dead. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like thematic, I believe.
It was the way around the first.
Thematic, yeah. And after the bloodthirster, just make the spear attack and everything disappear. Yeah, it was really nice, guys.
How did you beat the dispossessed army? I used one model,
Ah,
and
yeah.
it was great.
Yeah.
A great 1 round of combat.
No, not round of combat, but pretty nice. Yeah. I feel really excited, but after I remember that this guy is now start, and I said, okay, sorry, man. First time happened this to me until this time, because after I make again. No, I don't know the third. No, the third game.
What was your opponent playing? Start by this.
Yeah, now I forgot also.
Third was you played Tomb King third.
No, I
No.
was playing the 4th.
With Tom Kings, yeah.
I was the one got trashed from 2 weeks. I'll tell you about it.
He will tell you all about it.
All about it.
Yeah. So total commitment was the battle plan.
Yeah, no
Total
deep
Yes, total commitment, the 3rd round.
Oh, still.
Well,
orc players.
yes.
Yeah, 100%.
I told you about his
Now
idea.
only listen
You
in my
thought I
mind,
was joking.
wag. You make wag.
Was it Stormcast?
No, it's on the fourth game.
Alright, go to the 4th round and...
I tried.
Well, no,
I tried.
Ganesh, you can do yours and you can think, right?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Alright, thinking will take a lot of time. So, I'm playing Seraphon. I'm having a Slandstar Master with the command trait with the skin spells, -1 to hit if your case demon D3 mortal. Curse of Fate, one of the biggest multi-tools in the army. You get to change 1 dice per phase, every phase. So either to my units or to your units. Usually to mine for the teleport, to the charge, lots of extras. Shadowstrike Battalion, you can't go wrong with it. With the Skin Priest, not the Star Priest, I swapped him. I gave him the cloak that gives him 14 movement, which was really useful throughout the tournament because he
14 movement skink.
yes, instead of a
And
5
fly.
plus, fly, 14 movement and 4 plus save, 4 wounds, but he could go almost everywhere for the reroll charges because I tend to miss them a lot. So I found the solution. And also on the 4 plus, it gives a reroll to a unit with innate, reroll, charge rolls, save rolls, and run rolls it never happened on a round that mattered throughout the tournament. Oh well. But
In
it had it.
theory, though.
Yes, in theory, it's great. Like, I can imagine my Croxus rolling saves. It will feel great at
One
some
day.
point. Yes, yes. Hopefully, I will survive enough to see this. Who knows? So I had 20 skinks and 10 skinks on the battalion, with the bolt splitters and shields, of course, because the javelins have like half the range.
Yeah.
You, Carol, we'll go back.
Yeah.
10 skinks outside of the battalion, 9 Croxigors. I love them. Like, it's the only thing in my army that can, let's just say, it's tough to be removed. It has a 4+ save, no ignore range, but 4 wounds is, so like it's a 36 wound model, 36 unit, yeah. And in comparison to the 6 up saves of the rest of my army, they're great. Yeah, so they can go somewhere and stay there, hopefully. And Absolute better. I made the priest a suicide bomb with Betrayer's Crown. So once per game, in the start of the combat phase, a unit within 3 inches, you get to roll as many dice as the models in the unit on a 5+, a mortal wound.
Yeah.
I gave Spell Mirror to the Absolute bearer. On a 5+, whatever affects from magic, a unit within, not wholly, 6 of the bearer, I get to roll a dice. On a 5+, it doesn't get affected. On a 1, it breaks, but you can use a Curse of Fate if it's really important. It has multiple combos. And also gives roll all failed hit rolls, wholly within 12, and +1 to cast for my wizards. So really important. And +8 to range. So a really good buff. After it moves, it really fits, because before that, where you had to plan the banner, it was a really good model, but a model that stays still in an army that constantly moves. It didn't make sense. So I never played him back up to the day that he started moving, like the rest of my army. And then I had chronomatic cogs, 12 pterodons in the Shadow Strike, with the javelins. They deal way less damage than the bolas, the sunlit bolas, but sunlit bolas only have 5-inch range, so you only get to hit the screen. But most of the times I need to hit the most viable. I never drop the pterodons for the screen, and that's why I prefer pterodons. They deal way less damage than reproductiles, but if you can screen well, you don't care. I can't hit you 1-inch range. He can't go through. If you know your things and you have screen lines, reproductiles, they do work, but not in the way I'd like them. So I gave them the javelins, 10-inch range, and then the list finishes with the Balewind Vortex and Chronomatic Cogs. First game was against. Wait, I have pictures from my notebook for the names. Yes.
I don't even need to comment on this, okay?
It was a great guy. Actually, I had a great time to all 5 games. Like, I had to roll for the
Except for game 2.
for the best.
Game 2 is a bit
Yeah, game 2 wasn't shit, but it was.
Shitty opponent.
I didn't have a problem with the opponent, but his miniatures were just too ugly and it didn't make any sense. So anyway, it was David McGill. Great guy, had lots of fun. He had a really, really interesting list. So he went balls deep with Greater Demons. He had the whole package. Scarbrand. Okay, I don't know the names, but the Whippy guy, the Big Axe guy.
Unfettered Fury, Incessant Rage, and Wrath of Khorne.
Yeah, whatever.
The Khorne guy.
This is about
Yeah.
whatever goes to Yorgos, not to David. You're great.
Salamander's Play.
So he then had the Karanak, the 3-head doggy,
Yeah.
5 doggies, which they're really, really dangerous. I had no idea.
What the fuck, doggies?
Yeah. Well, I've never seen them before on the table. I will remember them now.
They're good.
Yes, they're good. And what else? And 2 units of 10 blood letters. And I think that should be. Oh, and a priest, of course. And a priest.
They make also some battalion.
No
Blood
battalion. No. It was full of
Speak on
points.
the microphone.
It was full of points. Like, am I forgetting something?
Any endless
I believe that
prayers?
is going to have this battalion because nobody, I think, will play the 3 bloodthirster or 4 without
There's a
this
bloodthirsty battalion.
blood battalion. Yeah.
He wasn't. We discussed about it. I can't recall why he didn't have the points. Sorry.
That's okay. Don't
Yeah.
worry. That's fine.
So the general was the bloodthirster, the guy that if he's on the wrong person can deal 43 wounds
He
to
just at the rage.
to the dispossessed for no reason. 9 6s out of 12 dice. Yeah, that makes sense. Good job. Anyway, so
Khorne approved.
we discuss about our rules. He does his best. Like I keep asking questions. He tells me like everything. I get to pick. I had 5 jobs, so this helped a lot. And triumph. I let him go first, and after his round, obviously everything goes up. He wants to fight. He's Khorne. It makes sense. I start my phase. I don't put Summon Silent on my Croxigors because my plan is I'm gonna destroy one of the Thirsters with the Pterodons, the leader, and then destroy the other one with the Croxigors that have the riddle from the banner, and then I'll see what will happen. 2 left. We'll see. All right, so I dropped the Pterodons. I destroy the. He had the Bloodthirster, his leader, on the right flank. Then there was the Scarbrand, the other Bloodthirster, and the third Bloodthirster. And then there were Skaranak, some dogs, and the 2 10 Bloodletters to his back objectives. So after I destroy his first Bloodthirster, everything's fine. I deal some damage to the other one. Oh, he had a cannon. That he buffed it but missed the first round.
Cannon.
Yes, the one that
Yeah.
No,
Khorne.
not Skull, the one that moves and hits really good
Skull
from.
cannon.
Oh yeah. So when he gets to kill a unit, he gets to shoot. That's really really interesting. So he's like, all right, I'm popping my ability that wholly within 16 I can pile in 6. We're like, ooh, now that's something I didn't know. Like, fuck. But the charge has already happened, and I realized that I cannot dodge both of the Scarbrand and the other Thirster. So I just pile in, avoid the one Thirster, and pray whatever happens with Scarbrand. So I kill the one Thirster, and then Scarbrand proceeds, rolls a dice. I take 2 Croxigors off. Remember the sturdy unit that
8
can
mortals,
stay
yeah.
somewhere? 8 mortals. Whoop, 2 Croxigors are gone. He kind of whiffs the rest, I think. I still get 2 more off, but when I saw his profile, I was like, okay, that went well. I won't complain. Oh, and I had I had a good charge with the birds. So I dropped them in a way that after killing the Thirster, I was really close to Scarbrand, the cannon, and the Bloodletters. So I piled in a way that I can avoid Scarbrand, but hit the cannon and also tag the Bloodletters. Yeah. So priority, he gets it. Scarbrand plays. Oh, he had one Thirster that he was like, Khorne hated him. Every single skink damage that went through, this Bloodthirster just took it on. My skink's like, I got you, small son. But Scarbrand on the other side was like, come at me, bro. Like 30 saves, maybe 22 4-ups. It was awesome. Like he was really Scarbrand as you read in the books. So after the priority, I get trust. The Croxigors disappear, but then I get to have a really good turn and kill Scarbrand, or maybe 1 or 2 wounds left, and I also take the priority then, and that was pretty much the game. But it was a really fun game. Great guy, was really happy for it. And then the second turn, we discussed about it. It was great. It's okay for your miniatures. You didn't design them. So I get a major win on the first one, a minor win the second one, because competitive armies, as you realize what I'm talking, are too strong for me.
The next meta.
Yeah, and then I had
What was it
the...
like playing against Chaos Dwarves for the first time? Is that the first time you played them?
Yes, really interesting actually. I have seen it, through the stream. I knew some things, but the spell, the 36 inch Ash of Storm, it's great. And the boat, it makes the list explode. Like you have one weakness and you just make it disappear with the boat. I loved it. The list is excellent. Like really nice, really nice.
Oh, cool.
And then I get to play with Johnny Armstrong, a Skaven Tide. Wow. Okay, that was such a great game. Like it was so interesting. At least 8 or 9 times we had to measure for a miniature if it moves and stays in table or not. And at 8 times it couldn't go off for like this much, and it mattered every single of the 8 times. So we start. It's the scenario that I can't have my biggest strength, but it's okay.
Still commitment. Yeah.
So we start the deployment, and I deploy everything way back. Like my first line was 6 inches behind my.
Thank you to the Dreadwoods. He donated 300 bits for the you guys.
Oh
So-
wow! Thank you so much.
Many thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So while we were placing, I put my first line 6 inches behind my. He put his most in a really the holes in a.
Oh, the knob.
Yeah, right next to my deployment was really good, really threatening. So I placed my whole army 6 inches behind my objective. But as we went through, he had two plague monks of 40, 2 bells that made so pretty much everyone was immune, 3 clanners of 20, the Warbringer, the big rat, is it the Warbringer the name?
Is the fighty one?
The fighty one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Warbringer.
And then the Corruptor, the Gracier. The Gracier. The Vortex. Wow.
Yeah.
Did you expect that? Yeah. I mean,
What do these guys do? I mean,
yeah, like he wanted to nerf himself. I don't know.
can't think of a reason to include this in the list.
brave.
Yeah.
He's just trying new things.
He was great. He
Yeah.
had a really, really strong list.
Innovative.
And he was a really great guy. Really, really good player. So I think that's all of his list. And on the deployment, he could see that I was so defensive. So he not overextended, but he put out everything on the maximum line. He left 20 clanners on his objective. He had 40 plague monks as far as he could, with a bell next to them. On my right flank, right next to them, there was a Warbringer near the third hole, the Gracier, the Corruptor, and then he had like 40 plague monks, a bell, and the other one was just 20 clan rats. I'm like, all right, my plan was to try to bait him, if I may, to maybe if I could have him a little bit too offensive. So when I realized that he was like more in the middle and to the right, I was like, okay, this is the chance. So my last drop, the birds, I let them last, and I put them on the left flank, that only the 20 rats were there, on the maximum, on the first one. Yeah. So they also get the Shadow Strike gives pre-battle movement, besides the 3 inch, which is the most important, and some rerolls from the priest, whatever he sees. So I was like, I'll pre-battle movement in front and go for the clan rats and take this one, because I would block his hole, so he could only bring to his objective on his turn 1 character with a skitter lip, if that went through.
Yeah.
Oh, and I also did Curse of Fate on my slan, so I could have the cogs on and stronger dispel on my phase. So because it's once per phase, so you can also use on dispel on the opponent's turn. Yeah. So I was like, okay, if I roll high enough, I'll go straight forward. If I roll mediocre, I'll go back and play defensively. Guess what? Snake Eyes. I was like, fuck, I can't go front, I can't go back. I was like, okay, now I can't let him go first. Whatever, I'll just take it and do what I may. Yeah. So I had the Constellation, +1 to run and charge. And I tried to make the best out of my round. So I teleported the Croxigors straight ahead of the 40 Plague Monks, because I had no prayers, no whatsoever, and I could tag them without the big guys interrupting. Yeah. And I brought the Priest with a run, so 20 inches, to be 6 inches of the Croxigors for a reroll. So I had 8+ rerollable. And then I proceeded, took the left flank. Those clan rats, let me tell you, they were so cheeky. I didn't shoot them because I was like, okay, these guys have like what, 6+, 5+? My 12 turtles will trust them. Guess what?
Or not.
I killed 10 of them. And he had the bell, so he didn't give a shit. 10 of them were there. I didn't even take the objective first turn. But the reroll, I failed the charge. The reroll though worked. Yeah. And I had the triumph of save, so that's another story. We had such a great game, I have to say many things. Like, if you're bored, just interrupt me. After the charge,
Interrupt.
I destroyed 30 of the Plague Monks. So, like, we're good. That's fine. And then he had only 10 plague monks left. I was like, I won't use them. I knew that maybe 10 will be left without any buffs. Guess what? Those 10 plague monks
Like can kill-
destroyed 4 of my Croxigors. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Only.
We were having such a great time with Johnny. We were like all the time, wow, like so tense. It was pretty much like our game. It was great. So after that, I'm losing the priority, and he does such a cheeky move. So on my objective, I have summoned some skinks, and I've zoned my way out so much, but my slan on the way back of the corner had left like this much. So he skitter lips his Gracier to vortex me from behind. I was like, fuck. And yeah, so the skitter lips is made, and now we're on the vortex roll. And Johnny, I have to apologize to you because something happened on that dispel that you don't know. I remember the dices you gave me after our game, the loot. I used drop dices. You never had the chance. He rolled a 10, so I rolled a 10, and with Curse of Fate, 11, and no vortex. That's it. Sorry, it was Rob's dice. Yeah, the loot worked.
Good. I'm glad.
So the game, from that point on, had so many close calls. Like all those things, I won't say that. I just said the first round to give you the general idea, but every single move mattered. Every single half an inch mattered. My Skin Priest bomb worked on this game really well. On the other 40 Plague Monks, it was crazy. Too many decisions. I wish I could show you, but anyway, we had a great game. So really tight matchup, so good, so close. So yes, so I ended up on 2 major wins and 1 minor win from a companion army with keyword ugly. That was my first day.
Wait, so what was your third game? We need to go back.
Yeah,
to
my
that.
third game it was Zinch. Yeah.
The chat's reminded you of that.
Yeah, sorry, but the Zinch now erase this battle from my mind.
It's Zinch, it's a shit. These new Zinch players, they're all a bit.
No, it's just a great time. I met him also in the Blood Tithe. Remember this guy, the name?
Yes, Connor.
Connor.
Yeah.
He gave us some really good
Some are
guys.
yeah from South Legion. It's an amazing
Also
guy.
guy,
We
really
have
good
pretty
player.
fun, but you know he learned what the skull does from the wrong side, because he said, okay, this skull's coming outside.
Here comes another story.
Yeah, another success story, if you can it like this. So in a total commitment, we have no reserves, but nobody of us have reserves. So I put here my main army, and I leave here the Bloodthirster, which was almost immune to magic, so I don't have any problem. And it was his weak side, because I have only 2 heroes, and Changeling and 1 Herald of Zinch. But if brings roll the dice to cast some spells, bring 9, continue keep rolling, and some 10 Chaos Warriors. So I said, okay, I'm going to hit this one because the other it was heavy with full of 20 Jungors, the Big Bird, Lord of Change.
Apparently, Connor's still feeling the effects of the skull.
Oh,
Whatever happened with these skulls?
Yeah.
Still not happened.
That's
yeah,
great
and
what they did to
Hey, Connor, you're number 1.
yeah, I believe that's your favorite model from now on, the skulls. And now I said, but he put in exactly the edge his 20 Jungors.
By the way, I also played Connor in Blood Tithe. It was like he was following my opponents from the last international tournament.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I put my my skull crushers in the edge, and I said, now it's my time to charge. Don't have something special or something like this. I mean, some command points, but after I thought that I have also the fate dices. I said, okay, my blood crushers will do well. I think so. So I whip them. I give them. I move exactly because between 18, 9 and 9.
Yeah.
18, yeah. So I move them 8, and I make the charge with +4.
Nice.
So this one, it's more than I roll about 10
Yeah.
+4, 14. Oh, 9 +4, 13.
Yeah.
So I get in, I make the mortal wounds, I destroy all the Jungors, they left about 2, 3, something like this. He makes some, I play first. After coming, make some spells. I make the skulls outside, also the Wrath Axe.
Yeah.
But it's not pretty effective in the first round. Okay, they cut about 1 spell, something like this. and he took the round. It played again, but unfortunately for him, the skulls remain in play.
Dead.
Yeah, it's one time only happened this one. I rolled 6. They like to stay so much. after make some spells, after he makes some spells, he bring the sacred number 8.
Yeah.
So all the main wizard from this side they get hit from the skulls. D6, D6, D6. So direct you see the gun somewhere and poof. He looked me like this. Yeah, I rolled 3, 3, 3. I said, come on, Khorne, give me something. And I rolled with my special custom skull dice.
And Khorne
6.
delivered.
Yeah, Khorne feel pleased about this. Yeah, and because he didn't realize that, okay, you have -2 for the casting rolls, but he didn't realize that the effect is for all the wizard E12 inches from the skulls, not only one. It's okay, the bird alive, but all the other get serious damage. He make one move, he bring forward these blue scribes in order to make some summoning afterwards in order to take my objective.
Yeah.
But in my turn, I managed also to kill the scribes. And my bloodthirster ran for this side, and I hit twice with my bloodthirster. It's another success story. Because from this side, I managed to kill 2 heroes, because I bring 2 6s again, so I make direct 8 mortals.
You know, that's his average.
Yeah, average.
He was so thirsty.
Yeah, and I have to point this because the thirster start to give me these great hits after I glue again back the feathers.
I glue again the wings.
I don't know that happened, but anyhow, this was a great game. I like so much, and this. Yeah, I feel so bad, but it was my last game. Sure, I'm going to give him the skulls for present. 100%. If it was the 5th round, I will give him the skull for present for me. So, Connor, you are still a great guy.
Overall a fun first day. I didn't make it to the second game. I mean, I made it to the second game. I made it to the 12th at this stage. But pretty fun. But yeah, I didn't. I was sick in bed, and then watched the telly for the next day, which was fun. I was like this. I was sat watching Warhammer TV and ignoring the sound being awful. One of the commentators did a good job, which I was pleased with. But I was like, I'm so glad I invented this so I could watch it when I'm poorly. And it's such a good move. Well done. And I got to watch. Did you guys see? I don't know if you've seen, but Andy's. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered to you because obviously you're playing Khorne. Yeah. But just how incredibly good the reroll. Reroll successful castings was in that 4th game. If you go back and watch it on Warhammer TV, he was playing against Skaven, and because every spell he casts quite comfortably, but then he has to re-roll the successful casting, and it was just huge and like really impactful. Made it so that they just didn't get anything off, and it was really fun to watch. And it was just like one.
The Skaven player just didn't have any chance of anything.
No.
He was just failing, but then he still went ahead with the same thing.
Yeah, so it was genuinely really a good game to watch. So if you want to watch it back, and also worth watching back the second game as well, just to watch how impactful Slanesh is, which I know you experienced already, right? Yeah, really fun.
First hand.
First. Yes. How was your day 2 Sunday games?
Well, day 2 was exciting. It was at the time when the pairings became random.
Oh my god! Yeah. Can I tell the story? Can I tell the story?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So obviously I didn't make it, and I never before have I been more upset about not making something. So the tournament software crashed Saturday night, and then in the morning I heard, and you guys are gonna have to. They announced that you guys had to pair yourselves via hands. The hands in the air pair system.
Self-service.
Yeah, self-service.
They separate the players for 3-0, 2-1, 1-2-1, something like this. And after they managed together, said,
it was like a dating meeting.
Yeah.
Speed dating for Warhammer.
What do you play?
I will play. What is your list? I like. Yeah, we can play.
And as far as I know, that's the first time it's happened. To be fair to the tournament organisers. Also, most importantly, Google Docs auto-saves your files. And also there's an auto-save function, I think, on every copy of Excel. I think. That's true. Because also at the start of Saturday, they did announce, don't forget we're playing at Warhammer World, the head of their production. They've got their factory there and all of their world services, everything that they run their company from. We got told that there wasn't going to be a sheet with all of the realms on every table because the printer had broken.
Oh, right.
Do you remember?
Yeah,
Do you remember the,
yeah.
the one printer? So the one printer and the one Excel spreadsheet are broken. So how did you guys find pairing yourselves via hands as a system?
I say I was very
Strange.
confused. I was like, raise your hands and all that, and then people were talking and moving, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Do I have to choose my opponent or not? But I was.
Do I have to go in
really
front?
happy about
They
this.
will choose. I will choose. God will choose.
No, we just moved together. We speak with one guy, and he
clicked.
stepped forth. After I follow, and when we go together, they said
So
us.
you swipe right and he swipe right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They matched.
What's your name? Yorgos. Oh, I always want to be paired with a Yorgos. Let's play.
Yeah, no, we go together, and they said, "What's your score now?" It's 2-1. He said, and I go together after him and said, "What's your score?" 2-1. Oh, you like to play together? Ask us. As I said, okay, for me it's okay. Said the guy, yeah, why not? Also a great guy, and after we go and play. But you know, it's just like the parent that had his child and with another new one. You like to play together, something like this.
For me, it was also a really cool story. So I was like, all right, who am I playing? Like, he was like, pick your opponent. And I'm like, I'm having 2 majors and 1 minor victory. So I guess there are some people that I should play with, like people that have 3-0. Yeah. And he's like, play with, wait for it.
Yeah.
Play with, Will Rose. Spoiler alert, another compendium army. So, my nemesis. But I was like, but aren't there any 3-0 people? Like, you know, you're hoping to play with guys that are ahead, so you can do the best you can.
Yeah, you got a
And I was
challenge.
like, Will, what's your score? It's like 2-1. I was like, okay, do I play with Will or are there any 3-0? He's like, no, it's fine. I was like, but he was really polite, but he felt not uncomfortable, you know. He was like, it was a mess, so it wasn't his fault. Like, I could see him, I was like, don't worry, just tell me, I'm not in a hurry or whatever. Do I play with Will or not? He's like, yeah, you play. All right, so we go to the table, and 5 minutes after, he's like, Yanis, I found you an opponent with, that's 3-0. But it was like 15 minutes after the whole story started, and Will was like, please don't do this because I already, you know, waited a lot of time. Yeah. We already lost a quarter. When will I meet my next opponent, and when will I get to start with him, talk with him, play with him? We won't get to play. So I was like, I'll play you. He thought that he saw me that I was like the really nice person from Games Workshop. Yeah. He thought that I was like for some reason that I felt weird because I was like, I don't want to play with a 2-1. And he's a really good player. And like, he's playing the compendium army, going on 2 wins on the three matches. Yeah. I know he's good. Come on, he doesn't even have rules upgraded, and he's with 2 wins, like half a minor win less than me. Yeah. He's doing great. Come on, what are you talking about? So we get to play. He explains all of his rules. I do my best to understand. I had no idea, but I love Tomb Kings as a, you know, it looked really, really nice.
Because you like the film The Mummy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen. No.
So you're from
who
somewhere.
doesn't?
You haven't seen the film The Mummy?
No, I have.
Oh, it's a good movie. Brendan
Yes.
Fraser's fantastic.
And it's also the effect of after the first day and the second round with that army, everything else seemed so beautiful, you know? It didn't matter who they were, as long as they weren't with the ugly keyword, they were perfect.
Apparently, from Tomb King Tristan says, Will knew he had a sucker on his hands when he's playing you.
So he was playing 3 units of skeleton chariots that they had many, double the. his armor was great against mine. It really worked. No, against most of the armies, but not Stormcast, I guess, because he had like 48 attacks and then another 20 something on the charge, because he had like 8 attacks, but then doubled, so 16 and 5 attacks or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But 3 units of 6 chariots, 5 wounds each, that they could bring one more with a banner just like that on the hero face, and etc. Well, not etc. He actually named his king. It was really cool. He really liked it. So he screens everything. I gave him the first turn outside of the charge range. He scores all 3, and then it's my turn. So I get the pterodons down, roll the cogs. So now Cedra is within range, because Cedra has a command ability that apparently within, not wholly, within 18 inches, gets +1 to hit and wound. So in this scenario, he had global +1 to hit and wound, and we're playing on the realm that with a command point, you get to hit first. So it was really good, really good. I drove the birds. I had to kill Cedra, I knew that, all right. Roll the mortal wounds. Instead of 12, 6. I'm like, okay, he saves 2, 4 mortals. That has happened before. It's dice. I'm like, we'll do better now. Go on, boys, come on. So I charge with the Croxigors, reroll everything, and to the hit, 4+, 29 attacks for 2 damage. 5 of them had rend, and 9 attacks, 1 rend, 1 damage. I reroll the wound rolls of 1. Wound on 3s, reroll the wound rolls of 1. On the unit of chariots, 5+ save and 6+ death. I'm like, all right, let's do this. After the saves, 6 went through, so I did 12 damage. I'm like, oh, this is really not going well here. But I had a -2 on the Croxor, so I'm like, we can do this. Priority, he gets it. And he didn't give a shit about my -2. He had the +1, had really great attacks. And after that, I was tabled at like turn 3. I also
Tomb Kings.
I also lost the third.
Dear Lord.
I did some things, tried to go back into the game, but
See you later, Tomb King Tristan.
like the game in a phrase was me getting destroyed by multiple kinds of bones, like all sizes of bones. I got destroyed. It's not that I lost, I got destroyed. So there we go. Compendium armies, too hard for me. And good job on him, obviously. Great game. Really, really nice.
Now, can I talk about my first game, Giannis?
Yes, sorry. I shared the word compendium and I had to share it.
Who did you play?
Again, my opponent's name was Max. The story is not very elaborate. I was just standing there. All the guys were matching up,
okay.
went to dates.
Max Barton, he's talking about you, 40k player.
Yeah. And I was, no one wants me. and then there was another guy in the room, and we are line of sight. Yes, we must die.
Like, hey, Yorgos, I have a fish tank in my house. Let's play.
You saw the long hairs on. Turn around. That'll do.
Yeah. We clicked, okay?
They had their moment.
So I went
Wait.
okay.
So you swipe right and swipe right for your first opponent. You got boned by your first opponent.
Hardly.
And
Hard
you
bomb.
just clicked when your eyes met across the room.
I'm a hopeless romantic. What can I
Is
say?
this like...
So you're also playing in the realm of light, where the command ability is always strikes first. So it's pretty much like who came first, right? Like at the combat, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
It's AoS dating. That's what it's
Yeah. So I meet this guy and say, okay, let's play. And we go to the table and I say, what army do you play? And he says, Fleischer Coach. And I said, fuck.
Very polite.
What will I do?
But obviously Hollowmorn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Or Blister Skin.
We deploy, and I'm like, okay, what we'll do? I can't wait for the third turn to do something because of the always strike first rule of Gristlegore. I couldn't touch him. So I think I'll use the Realm of Light. And it was the first time in my life that I actually used to my benefit a Realm rule. Yeah. So he plays first. He runs. His army list was 2 Terrorgeist with Khorne Ghoul King on top of them. Okay.
Ghoul Patrol?
Yeah, Ghoul Patrol. The second, not the general, had
Doppelganger Cloak?
yeah.
He had
Ghoul Patrol.
It's okay. If you go and watch the Six Nations, it's every Flesh Eater corpse list. But without, I imagine, a corpse cart.
Yeah.
No corpse cart.
No corpse
No.
card.
he had the spells, didn't he?
One Abhorrent Ghoul King, the Arc Regent.
that's right.
Yeah. 20 ghouls, 10 ghouls, 10 ghouls. The Ghoul King Courtier.
Yeah.
The Ghoul Courtier, I'm not sure how he.
Good guy scored.
Yeah. He had the Chalice and perhaps another Endless spell.
The
I
horse.
think. Yeah.
Yeah,
He didn't
yeah,
get to
yeah.
cast it, so I don't remember. So he plays first. He moves. The valuable objective was the central one.
Mm-hmm.
He moves 10 ghouls, and he deploys from the Ghoul Patrol 10 ghouls and 20 ghouls on each of the other objectives. So he gets all 5 points. It gets my turn. I go with my Island Guard and murder the central ghouls to get the 3 points. I sent my Killian King to charge the unit of 20 ghouls and manages to kill like 10 of them, 12 or something. It was very feisty. Yeah.
Super fast.
Yeah, and I run with a command point. Not command point. Don't remember. My one of my units with Morsar Guard to grab the other objective because he had 10 ghouls, but he hadn't moved them all of them within 6 inches of the objective. So I took advantage of it and scored the point for myself. So I got 4 points, and I positioned my other 2 Morsar units not very close, but not very far, in order to countercharge. Then I get priority. My Tidecaster uses the Steed of Tide spell to teleport herself 24 inches front. She's followed with a run from Morsar Guard. Then my Island Guard proceed and run and charge his Arc Regent and his Abhorrent Ghoul King on foot.
Yeah.
My 6 Morsar Guard charge the guy on the Terrorgeist, not the general. And I use my central Morsar Guard, which I held in reserve, went to the side and went to kill the 10 ghouls from the objective from before, and the other unit remained defensively in position while the king tried to kill some more ghouls. So I charge the Terrorgeist, and it's the beginning of the combat phase. And I say, okay, I activate my Mortal Wounds, and I activate the command ability to strike first. And Max says he had the Doppelganger Cloak, so he will activate it, so I couldn't attack him before he gets to attack. But since all of these abilities happen at the beginning of the combat phase, and it's my turn, I get to choose. So I zapped him and I killed him.
Did you laugh loads?
On the inside, yes.
I always strikes first. Like, no. You're like, no, yes. I do.
Yeah. And well, he proceeded
This is
to
27 eels versus Terrorgeist.
only 6. I only
Simon,
need 6.
no one
of
likes
them.
Flesh Eater Courts. Just live with it. Just live with it. I'm so sorry. I might have an ugly army, but at least it's not whatever.
This one's real.
So he manages to use 2 command points and strike before he die and strike again. So he kills all my 6 Morsar Guard. But the way I have put my other units, he with his other Terrorgeist, he either could my Island Guard killed the Abhorrent Ghoul King, but failed to kill the Arch Regent. So he plays he can only use his terrorgeist unit to either go and kill a unit or go for the main objective with which its value was 3 points. So it was a dilemma for him. Tough choice to make. He summons 3 Crypt Flayers and 20 ghouls on the side of my 6 Morsar Guard on one of the side objectives. He brings some more ghouls back with the ability of the Ghoul Courtier. They retreat. He goes with his Terrorgeist, does a first pile-in on my Island Guard, kills some of them, and then proceeds to kill my Tidecaster. So he gets the 3 points. He tried to charge with the 20 ghouls and the 3 Crypt Flayers. Only the Crypt Flayers make it. I activate my Mortal Wound with this unit of Morsar Guard, and I perhaps did 10 Mortal Wounds.
On an average of 6, it was.
Yeah, so the first Crypt Flayer is what? Only with 2 wounds, he did nothing. I killed it. I killed
One blood tithe for Khorne this one.
I managed to kill the Archregent. He was on the throne. He couldn't leave. And then he won priority. Or I won. I don't remember. But I proceeded. Oh, he won priority. He goes on the back. He tries again because the objective was again on the center, the important one. He charges with his Terrorgeist, does some attacks with the Maw on the Morsar Guard, the last one which I had in reserve, and with the second pile-in kills my priest, my Soul Scryer. But he fluffed the attacks with the Morsar Guard and just killed one guy. He gets again the objective. He charges his 20 ghouls on my unit of 6 of Morsar Guard, but it was the 3rd round, so I get strike first, and I kill them all, and then I played and I kill everything else apart from the guy on the Terrorgeist, which I could try to kill him, but I opted not to risk it, and I just dance around. It was mathematically impossible to lose at that point.
Yeah.
So I just avoided him, and the battle was...
That's right.
was
That's
ended.
also true. When you're beating someone, you should also make sure you guarantee they don't get any victory points. Like that's like the other kicking. That's like kick them when they're down.
Well,
like no VPs for you.
Normally, I will try to get the points for myself.
Yeah.
I didn't think that way. Because in the Greek tournaments, we use points for tiebreakers, but the difference.
Yes, I see what you mean.
So I say better. It was a reflex.
Yeah, the Greek feta.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Greek feta.
Yeah.
Order player,
Exactly.
chaos player. This will be the difference.
Yeah,
For me,
you-
I'm going to kill everything I can. 100%.
You and Nathan should play Warhammer together. It would just be 2 men just running armies at each other all day.
He's playing one of these narratively, so and then I proceeded and killed everything. Casual day.
Max
Ill
was
day.
great, and I could only do this because of the realm.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was like, what will I will dance away until the third
Yeah.
battle round.
That was
what
the
can
same
I
against
do?
my game against Colin. Like that Fire Slayer block is just so hammed in by total commitment. But with Always Strikes First, they would be terrifying. So I'm glad. Yeah, you're
So
right.
I just got the chance and used it. So in the final round, I played against a very nice fellow, which again I don't remember his name.
Mm-hmm.
He had Nurgle allegiance.
This is a cool list. I really like this list.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
He had 2 units of 10 Plague Bearers, 1 unit of 5 Chaos Warrior, 40 Plague Monks, the Snail Guy,
Oh,
The Gardener.
Horticulus Libus.
a Chaos Sorcerer,
the regular one. Chaos
and
Wizard Lord.
Archaeon.
And
The man
poo bag.
himself.
And the poo bag?
And?
The poo bag?
Yes.
Great and clean one?
Yes. The
Yeah,
poo
the
bag.
good, yeah.
The great and clean one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The shit bag,
The
as
shit
I told
bag.
him,
Yeah.
With
That's how
endless,
he calls it. He was
with
confused.
endless gift.
even in Greek. With the Endless Gift, the Undying One,
Wait, what's the shitbag in Greek?
Skatosakula.
So
I've never learned that.
it's like two words linked together. Scato, like it's shit. Sakula is the bag. So scato sakula.
Shitbag, yeah, I like
It's a nice language. It allows you to make lots of words.
Shitbag sounds better, more insulting.
Oh,
So we begin. We both had 8 deployment drops. He won the roll, so he told me to play first, and I was very scared of Archaeon. If I went to get the objectives, he will smack me. So I get my objective. I position my units a bit better, and I sent the Tidecaster, brave girl, to get one of the side objectives. Then he plays.
with other players.
Um,
I don't know why. Especially with this guy.
and he begins to buff Archaeon, and I'm. Oh.
What's up?
And he had a threat of 23 because he rolled on the wheel the +2 movement, and used the bell +3 movement. He could run a chance with a 3, so he had a threat range of 23 with Archaeon plus the charge. So I was very scared what he will do to me. So I played conservatively, and he put all these buffs on Archaeon, and he rolled both the first and the second battle round on the eye of something, his artifact.
Sure.
3.
Yeah.
And all my units hit on 3. And I was like, come on, dude. It's 1 out of 6. Come on. So he plays conservatively too. He moves all his units up front, but he was very careful because I had 1 unit with my Soul Scryer. He was very careful not to leave any gaps for me to go and flank him or go from his back. He was very careful, very good player. And he positioned Archaeon a bit more on the front, and the shitbag proceeded to kill my Tidecaster. So he got 5 points. Then we roll for priority, he gets it, and Archaeon charges my Island Guard. He killed almost all of them. 6 of them. So 3 remained. I use and he also charged my Achillean King. I used the artifact on Achillean King to save him. I used a command point to keep my Island Guard on Archaeon, and then I played. I bring my Morsar Guard from the reserves on Archaeon, and 1 unit of Morsar Guard which was close, and I charged both of them on Archaeon. And I charged the other unit of Morsar Guard on the shitbag. You do my mortal wounds on Archaeon. They didn't do so much. And imagine he had reroll 1s to save, reroll 1s to wound, reroll 1s to hit. I rerolled 3s to hit. And he also had a Triumph, which was reroll saves. And he activates it. But regardless, only 6 of my eels killed him.
Good. Motherfucker.
Yeah. These two guys
Because Dormheim. Most people play Fuethan, but I believe Dormheim is much more powerful. You may not get to change the tides, but the global reroll against monsters at all times, not only in the charge, is very important. You do lots of damage. So I killed him, and I tried to kill the shitbag, and I fluff a bit my rolls, and he remains with 2 wounds. And it was like, oh fuck. And he replenished the wound then, and
Gifted them all back.
then it was a grind match between the 6 seals and the shitbag. they traded blows. By little, he was killing them, and then he gets again priority. He tries to charge the Plague Monks on my unit of Morsar Guard, which was on Archaeon before. He failed the charge. He was a bit unlucky. He needed a 6, I think, and he rolled a 5. And it was so close, it wasn't clear if he could reach or not. So we rolled the dice. He rolled a 3, so he didn't make the charge. And he summoned some plague bearers at the back so he can protect himself. And he ran 5 Chaos Warriors and scored my objective because I had only one Soul Scryer on my objective. So he scored 4 and 9 points or something. He was very, very good. Then I play and I use my 1 unit of Morsar Guard. I give them 6+ to charge, +6 to charge, and I get behind him. And oh no, that wasn't hit. I used my Island Guard and ran at the back to score his objective. And I have mixed the order.
Did we mention what was the last battle plan?
No.
No.
What was it?
Shifting
the-
objectives.
Shifting objectives.
No.
Yeah.
No,
the
no,
fourth
no.
one was 15.
Border
Battle-
War.
Border War.
Border War.
Yeah.
So when he got my objective, he got 9 points. He
Yeah,
got 4.
One, two, three, four.
I managed to get a bit back in the game, but he charged his snail. He killed 2 of my Island Guard. 1 remained. He scored again his objective. He scored mine and the side objectives.
Yeah.
But I managed to at the following turn do a charge, and my Morsar Guard 1 unit go in the back and kill the snail. My last Island Guard kill the Chaos Sorcerer at the back. My 1 unit, I charge a unit of 6 Morsar Guard, but they got +1 attack because it was the 3rd turn from the command ability of my Achillean King. They killed all the 40 Plague Monks.
Wow.
With the assist of 1 Morsar Guard from the other unit because he needed to be within half an inch of the 40 units of the unit of 40 Plague Bearers in order to get the +6 to charge. And then my Achillean King, which had charged the 40 Plague Monks, was free, and because he charged, he made the pile move and went to hit the Chaos Warriors, which was on my objective. I think it was a very nice move from me at this point.
Yeah.
Alas, he fluffed a bit his attacks. He didn't kill all the Chaos Warriors. He didn't fail the Battle Shock test, and I didn't get to score it at this turn. Then my other unit went to fight some Plague Bearers at the other objective with the shitbag, which proceeded to kill the 1 unit which he was engaged with. But by the end of 4th battle round, he was on 27 points. I was on 11. I was very much on the back pedal. So we rolled for priority, and he was like he had left 1 Chaos Warrior on my objective closely, 2 Plague Monks.
Wait, 27 to 11.
Yeah,
And you rolled priority.
yeah,
At the end of the 4th round or the 3rd round?
of the 4th.
Okay.
So
So you had already lose like
no,
mathematically.
no.
27 to 11.
Like, you still get 18 in 2 turns.
I thought the end of the 4th turn, not the 3rd. That's why I asked.
Either way.
Yeah.
Either way.
20. Oh no, I had 21. Sorry, 21 to 27.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry. So there's only the shitbag, 1 Plague Bearer, 2 Plague Bearers, and the Chaos Warrior, and some 5 Plague Bearers there. And I have almost all my units apart from 1 unit of Morsar Guard. And we roll priority. He rolls a 1, and I roll a 1.
Oh.
And because he got the previous one, he gets it, and he just moves the 1 Chaos Warrior and the 2 Plague Bearers, scores 4 points. He goes to 31, and he won. If I won even that priority, any of the 4 priorities, I could have won. Even the last one, I will score 9. I will go to 30, and I will be able to
Everything else.
stop the shitbag to go to my.
It's a
objective.
cool list though, like, you know, to do like to be doing so well. Nurgle did well, like, because that would have been 4. Is that 4-1? Like, you could have won 5 games then.
Oh no, that was before.
Oh right, okay.
But I got very good votes from the guys, and thank you so much for voting my army, for voting me as a nice player to play with, as a nice opponent. I went to get the 18th place.
Great job.
But if I had won this last battle, I will be fourth. Which
Not
was
bad.
nice not bad for a first time, I think.
No, that's great. Congratulations. No, that's fantastic. Yeah, the Greek fairy is real. Also, I like that list. I love that Slimix is out there just like being a snail
Yeah.
and kicking ass.
As far as Archaon goes, I believe it was a very solid list. Very solid list.
Oh, awesome. So how did how Khorne get on?
So, my last two games were very interesting, but I have to say I learned more for this list, and this place.
Yeah.
So, in my fourth game, I met one great guy with a Stormcast list. It was more shooting.
So this is the
about
one where
four-
you had to pick your opponent, or
No.
They
Yeah.
arranged it
This
for you.
time
Yeah,
that we step together
Yeah.
and we play afterwards.
Cool.
Hold hands and all that.
Yeah. Stroke each
So,
other gently. That's good.
I have a solid deployment.
Yeah.
This guy have Star Drake, two units of 5 Liberators, 20 Phoenix Guards. No, 3 units of 5 Liberators,
Yeah.
20 Phoenix Guard. Star Drake I mentioned before, and 4 Ballistas. This grandpa that gives him +1 to hit.
Coordinator.
The Ordinator, yeah. And some Stormcast heroes that until now I never managed to clear who is who.
Yeah. Just dudes with armor.
Yeah, just use with the armor. Yeah, all the same. It looks exactly the same. Yeah. And I make the deployment. I take the first turn because I have less drops. I going fourth. I take the objective. I score 5 points. The other guy, in this time, he make a great mistake that I believe that he cost him the game because he ran with the Phoenix Guard.
Yeah.
I have my 20 Juggernauts in the middle. I have 6 Juggernauts, yeah. 2 Blood Warriors, 2 units of Blood Warriors, 1 in each side.
Yeah.
And the 6 Juggernauts have the middle objective. This guy ran, but roll only 2. And this time he don't spend the command point to make it 6. So he don't take the middle objective. So afterwards, when they come down, these 4 ballistas with the Ordinator, he have to shoot my Juggernauts in order to make the less than his, so he can take to score the objective. But unfortunately, he can't because I have a very good save.
Yeah.
And I roll pretty well, so maybe 1 Juggernaut.
2 plus with the pre-save, right?
No, 3 plus. I didn't manage to bring the...
No.
So he come also the Strat deck in the middle. He strike my Juggernauts. I roll pretty well. He don't kill too much.
So you wasted his
4
shooting.
and 4,
trying
something
to
like
clear
this.
the objective.
Yeah. So it was about left 4 Juggernauts. Also have 4 guys.
Phoenix Guard, and because
So-
it was yours from before, you still keep
Yeah,
it.
he cannot take the objective. Yeah, and we roll. I roll 2. He rolls 2 because this is mean that I tell that roll every time 2. Dumb number. Yeah.
Just efficiency.
I roll 2. He rolls 2, and I take the position. I take priority.
Yeah.
My Bloodthirster again. This small guy coming forth. He managed to kill the end of the game. Star Drake, 20 Phoenix Guard, 2 heroes of Stormcast Eternal, and 5 Liberators. Yeah, and also 3 Ballistas. Something like this. Yeah, it was.
Insatiable raids for sure.
Yeah. He rolled pretty well also in this game.
It's like Pac-Man. Just going
yeah.
eat them all.
Yeah, and pretty much it was a bit unlucky, but also I win all the priorities in this game. I win all the priorities, so I destroy everything in the front line. So my Bloodthirster turns again, go to the ballistas, and continue the slaughter. Yeah, but the point is that we roll every time 2s. Have 3.
10
let's say I
2s.
don't know how many attacks with the dragon.
Yeah.
3 ups. We roll once, maybe 6, 7 2s in every roll. Yeah, it was his damnation. Yeah. I looked at him. I said, "Dude, what are you doing? How it's possible to do this one?"
I've done that. Many
Yeah.
times I've done that.
I believe that the worst roll is in Age of Sigmar. It's 2, not 1. anymore.
Yeah.
Because you have plenty of rerolls.
Yeah, if there was ever an army made that does anything on a 2, I don't care what it is or how it looks, I'm buying it.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it does stuff on 2s only, fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I'll
sure,
be
but
happy.
this army is not coming
And-
very soon.
This is happening many years now. Let me tell you about those days that you were playing a battalion for salamanders, 3s and 3s, rolling 1s of hits and wounds, and 2s every single time.
Yeah, OJ has got an army list on this Wargamer for his Sylvaneth that's just called Fuck Twos, because his Dryads in Winterleaf hit on 3s, and then they get to reroll 1s, and he's like, Alariel's like, I'm hitting on 3s, wounding, rerolling 1s, 2, all the time, which is great. So you win that game?
Yeah, I win it, and after we proceed to the final game, I was very exciting about that. I have 3-1, so I'll try to make 4-1, and I play against Khorne. So Khorne vs Khorne, so the Khorne wins anyhow, but I lost. Unfortunately, yeah, because we rolled the priority. He took the second turn. I rolled 2.
What?
He rolled 3.
What was his list? What happened? Like
With the blood tester, the game, it was
Is
Instant
it-
Rage, Wrath of Khorne.
And the guy forgot his rules a bit.
Yeah. Moment. It's, the 3 of Bloodthirsters. Instant Rage, Unfettered Fury, Wrath of Khorne, Scarbrand. Yeah, it was Scarbrand in this Blood Tyrant battalion.
Mhm.
Also have Bloodhunt. It was Wrath of Khorne. I missed something. Yeah, it was Wrath of Khorne, Karanak, and 3 Flesh Hounds.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, if I'm mixed up. Yeah.
Vigilani, thanks for joining Patreon. That's great of you.
And okay, it was a tough game, but he wins the second priority, and from the first round, almost destroy my one flank because I don't have a good position. So managed to destroy my right flank, and he took the priority, so he cut all my chance I've got to win him. So I lost.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
anyhow, Khorne is pleased.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, okay. And then what was your final game, Giannis? That's very nice of you, by the way.
all right. So after getting boned all the way in on the 4th round, I was just seeing my army getting destroyed without doing anything for a during the 4th game. I'm like, all right, let's see. And I see my opponent, and he has Fire Slayers. I'm like, he doesn't have a competitive army. Maybe I can get back to the major wins. Because so far it worked. 2 majors with armies that have war scrolls and all that. 1 minor victory against something, and a major loss against Tomb Kings. So like, all right, these guys are not competitive. Let's do this. His name was Patrick. He was from Germany. He came with 3 more friends who played the GT. So perfect. Like us from Greece, they traveled from Germany just for that.
Cool. Yeah.
He was playing the really strong Fire Slayer list that has the 15-man unit of Hearthguard Berserkers and another one of 10, which I kind of prefer because the 30-man is too unwieldy. Like it's a one-trick pony if you can work your way around it. I think it's more strong to have it split a bit. Well, not much I can say about this one. He was a really good player, really tight match. I just skinked my way through, like dropped the bombs on the Magma Droth to disappear his command ability and the -1 to wound. It's really nice. Like he has an aura. I had no idea. I have never played them before. Like from the Fire Slayer, 10 inches, all the units that get hit, -1 to wound. Really nice ability. And well, pretty much what happened was whenever he touched me, I was getting totally smashed. Makes sense?
Yeah.
And I was dancing around, summoning skinks, teleporting skinks, getting his back objective, and all that. So it was a really nice game. Really good guy. At the end of the game, the rest 3 of his friends came. They really looked happy. They really enjoyed the travel like us. So yeah, I finished on a 3rd major win, and a minor win, and a major loss. Yeah, so
Nice.
competitive armies are my nemesis apparently.
So did you guys generally enjoy the event? And
Yeah, fuck yeah.
yeah.
Totally.
Oh, good.
Yeah, really. Oh, the only thing that if any of my opponents like are in the chat now, I would really love the feedback for the the best army thing. I've seen my opponents. They were like, I had to roll to decide which one will get the best matchups. So many good matchups.
I'll do it loads.
And I guess it's the same with the painting, but I like got one, so I would love the feedback because I really try, I've been painting my army for like 1.5 years, so I'm trying my best.
It's a really pretty army.
I would love the feedback, like what can I improve? How can I make it pop out more maybe, or what didn't they like?
As I said,
Opponent had turned up.
Well, it makes you feel any better. Like I went to the Heat once. So me and Andy Hughes, who played, and Andy Hughes is a gent, and I think I'm okay. And I think I'm okay to play Warhammer against it, And Andy took 24 Kadai, so 2 units of 12 in what I would describe as a very obnoxious list. But Andy's a gent, and then Andy got a ton of sports votes, and I didn't get any. And that's and that's fine. Sometimes people just have better games. Like you're a pleasure to play, and you also didn't get one from me. And I'd have.
No, about the game. So like the painting is something I think it's different. Like
it's very subjective. That's what I told him. It's very subjective because if you don't have an army which have a centerpiece, and you're not get judged by people who are skilled painters. They may be skilled painters. They may not. They may not have an informed opinion regarding the painting and the quality, and it's not best paint. You don't vote the painting. Best army. Best army can be anything.
Yeah.
Best army can be a good conversion. Best army can be.
Bulgors.
100%.
I like orcs. I don't like elves. Can be best army. So
Personal preference.
yeah, it's very subjective. So it's not really a slant.
I'm not saying it in a bad manner.
On the
way.
quality on the quality of his painting.
Yeah, it's not necessarily painting it. Quite often it'll be army list. Because my painting's not that great, but I've had a few of those votes, and that's just because I've been playing with Dispossessed, and they're just beautiful little dwarves, not ugly ones.
Yes, yes, Rob. Yes.
But in the end of the tournament, they found that we all three get the ticket for the final, and
We
also
qualified.
Hey.
Yatel, what you take?
My army was nominated for best army.
There we go. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You happy with that?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Because this was not subjective to an extent that the guys who.
Round, don't they?
Yeah. So at least out of the 100+ people, I knew that my army was very good to be on the 6 that were nominated. So I felt very good.
There was a high
regardless
stand. There was a high standard
if I
as
would
well.
win.
All 6 of them were great. Like so.
I saw there was
Yeah, also
Good job to all
conversions,
of these
everything.
guys.
Yeah, and the Stormcast guy who won his army was very impressive.
That would be Jimbo of the Mitzi and Jimbo show, if you'd like to. He actually turned up with only 1,750 points of army because
Yes.
he's been painting 25 hours a week. Every week on that army for about a year, and that's all he has painted. So he intentionally played all tournament, 250 points down.
It shows. It shows. It was amazing.
I did my army in 3 weeks.
See,
Jimbo, you're missing a trick there, son.
Perhaps 2.5. Not sure.
he crosses our bravery every time. We're doing our best painting and all that. Oh, guys, I'll start painting my army 2 weeks ago, and I started on 2017. Fuck you.
Yeah. When he started to paint, forget his life, everything, work and painting, nothing else.
Yeah.
So you need.
and a bit of toilet.
Yeah, a bit of that.
Or some food sometimes.
And just to look at Max in the eye.
Yeah.
And to lock eyes with
sure,
Max
for
across the
sure.
room. I'm going to tweet you both later together.
Well, I always say that if you want to get an army done, you have to sacrifice some days. There were some times when I got a leave of absence for a week and just did this. Because in my opinion, if you do it like this, you are focused. You do what you do. You get better because you are on a roll. But if you do 1 hour this day, 1 hour that way, that day, and so on, each day you begin anew until you get into the mood. You lose time actually.
Let's make
instead of
something
winning.
clear. This is not normal. We had to sacrifice months. We had to not work for 3 months to do this. This is about your level of skill. No. How can I ask? Oh, guys,
There are much better painters than
I'll
me.
be missing for work for
Much
3
better.
months. I'm gonna paint my army through day to night. It can't happen in 2 weeks. And unless it's you or Benjamin Sava
Yeah.
or something like this. I'm answer. I don't
You
know.
can dry brush any army. Big shout out to Ben.
Keyword ugly.
Keyword ugly.
Oh, angry, yeah.
Damn it. Right, okay, so you guys had a great time. Good, you qualified, so you might come back in the future.
Yeah.
We'll try, yes.
Which is good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
most likely.
And we saw Legion of Nagash win. There you go, showing that they're still in there at the end.
Congrats to all guys.
Huh?
Yes.
Congrats to all guys for the tournament, for the effort that they make.
Yeah. That was great. We saw in second place was Bones Players, the most boring army of all time. Not Bones Players themselves, just Cunning Rook. And
Let's
then
call it point and click.
yeah, it's just so dull. Like Nathan, you've played against that army, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a problem for Gits because you got an ale guzzler.
There we go.
Seriously. Jonathan was speaking to Byron at the Six Nations, and Byron is scared of the ale guzzler.
He's scared of me. I think he's scared of you. And then in third place we saw Hedonites of Slanesh, which was cool. And then you guys got to experience the soft score, so like people get voting, and that puts you up and down.
Yes.
So that makes a big difference. So I think first place wasn't even for 5 majors.
4 major, 1 minor victory, 4 majors, yes.
And then because of the soft scores got first place, and there's loads we've talked about it before. There's loads to say about it, but it's a oh no, damn it, it's a cool system in some ways because it's more hobby orientated,
Yes.
right? Which is
Yes.
which can be fairly important to some people.
Yeah.
I know I messed up pressing buttons.
No, at the end of the day, we go there to have fun, above all.
Yeah.
And this
And
this
be
is-
sick.
This soft score promotes going to have fun and be a good guy and be polite, because let's face it, in any competitive game activity, there are people who only live to win, to get the results, and they don't care how will they achieve it.
Yeah.
This is a reality. Okay, so these soft scores, they keep a leash on them.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, like
Maybe.
if you're a fan of it, that's great, right? Like, and I think there are different. I have different vibes about it sometimes, and we've talked about the heat before, and the terrain, and then obviously the pairing system where you meet people across the room is.
See, you're single, Rob. This is why you're so annoyed, because you could have met your soulmate on Sunday morning if you were well.
There's your chance.
It could have been one of these three.
I missed my chance.
It could have been one of these three.
You never know
Yeah.
Oh, start
when
looking at me,
love
be careful.
strikes.
So if you guys came back to the next tournament, would you bring the same armies, do you think, or are you excited about like getting your teeth now into the General's Handbook and starting a new season?
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
So same armies or different armies?
No.
Okay, go
Sorry.
ahead. No problem.
I believe Idoneth with the Fire Slayers and Slanesh
Mercenaries.
unleashed. They faced a very, very serious problem because Idoneth is an army which can only do close combat. And when you have armies which strike first, you can't really do something. Well, I can't perhaps face an opponent which is not as good as me with Slanesh or Grisgol or Fire Slayers, and may get a win, but I will steal it most likely, because if I go head to head with such an army, I can't win, and I can't win on objectives. I don't win on objectives. They win on killing the other
Yeah.
guy and get the objectives.
Yeah.
So I believe I will try a shooting list, which will most likely be Stormcast. Not sure if it will be pure Stormcast. I will certainly use some skinks as allies, because Stormcast suffer from bodies.
Yeah.
And either skinks or Eternal Guard, I believe a good Stormcast list must begin with 2 or 3 units of either skinks or Eternal Guard. Otherwise, I think you're fucked. You don't have the bodies.
Yeah.
You don't have screen. And Stormcast, except for mortal wounds, suffer above all from number of bodies. So I will try to make some shooting list with magic. I love the Comet.
Yeah,
The Comet loves me.
Yeah.
Uh,
You don't think?
Oh, he's serious about, by the way. He loves him. So many mortals every single time. He never failed it. I've never dispelled it.
Yeah, the Comet goes in, no matter what.
Wayne.
Yeah. No, I was thinking for bodies, the Darkling Coven, the Blackguard are
Yeah,
quite
no,
good.
yeah.
They're really cheap for what they are.
For 90
so-
points.
So cheap.
They are.
So
Right.
cheap.
120. But,
Oh, the Blackguard.
yeah,
Blackguard, yeah.
But they've just got a great rule set and they're pretty quick and you just get bodies.
Well, you can also use Wildwood Rangers. They're
Yeah.
also 120 points now.
Bonus versus
They will be.
monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Uh,
personally, I think Blackguard are better.
I will most likely go for Astral Templars for a Stormhost with a +1 global to hit on monsters, because now there are monsters, and all Chaos armies use a monster of some kind, be it any of the greater demons or a Vermin Lord, and also Flester Courts. They use monsters. So a very good part of the meta, Pi, uses monsters. So I believe this Stormhost is the way to go. And not only that, there is a very important, in my opinion, command trait, which enables you at the beginning of after the armies have been deployed, but before the game starts, all units wholly within 12 inches, I think, of the general get to move 6 inches.
Oh, yeah,
And that can get your shooting in a much reach further, or retreat and bait the opponent, or move sideways and redeploy to an extent. 6 inches is not bad, but it's not. It's solid. So we'll try something like this most likely, or if the new Sylvaneth book comes out, I have.
I mean, it could be. I've heard 2050.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Is there a new Sylvaneth book?
Huh? Yeah, I found it in mysterious ways. Let's say this. I tried some lists. I believe Heartwood is my favorite. I use 3 units of 3 Khorne hunters with bows, and there is an artifact which enables you, all Khorne hunters wholly within 12 inches of the bearer, to reroll hits.
Oh, that's
So
solid.
it's the only way to buff the bow Khorne hunters, because otherwise they're set.
They are.
But with this, you get a solid threat and with good range. 35 threat, it's very good. It's very
great.
good.
Like
Yeah,
Ballista.
rerolling to hit
Yeah,
is
yeah,
great.
like
Ballista,
Ballista.
yeah.
Yes, and I like many people cry for the new Sylvaneth book, but I believe it makes up for lists that are not so much dependent on the fucking goods, which was annoying for me to carry, annoying for me to play, annoying for my opponents to play with, because there are the trees and you can't go on the tree, and suddenly the battlefield is clogged with trees, and it's not very nice. It not promotes a nice experience.
Like playing at Warhammer World. I'm not stopping until they make it better.
I got it.
So what are you thinking about playing?
So my thoughts about to continue with Khorne, to add some drastic spoilers, the battalion from Beast of Chaos,
Yeah.
or I will try Beast of Chaos, but
So do
I
they?
will- but
do
I-
they have the Warhood in the Brass Destroyer?
yeah, but I
Yeah.
believe I will use drastic spoilers combined with Khorne,
Yeah.
so and I will give a chance about it, but I'm not sure yet.
Goat power.
Yeah, ghost power all day.
Pray for the win.
Yeah. I'm still building my Zinch, so I'm excited about that, especially after the Bringy Dingy. So I'm going to be playing that in the future. Nate, thought you were going to be playing?
I'll be just playing the same as always. I think Gits really so. From the brief look that I've had at the General's Handbook, Gits are really going to benefit from the handbook. Just the extra command abilities are we've got so many command points in the lists that I use all the time. So just having those extra reroll ones to hit and wound and save. Yeah, I think it's really good.
There are also little wonders of one.
Yeah.
I haven't read.
No, it's reroll ones to hit in the combat phase and the shooting
Or a
phase.
different one that's real one.
Yeah. There's not to wound. Yeah. But there's a reroll ones to wound elsewhere in the Gits book. So yeah, it's going to be good.
Simon, flesh your courts.
Angels.
And Angels.
Angels are good.
I'm going to try my new Skaven that I've got. Nah, I'm joking. I'm taking the flash killers.
Everyone's like, what?
Yeah, no, Angels are a huge winner from the General Handbook as well.
Yeah,
so
they
definitely.
take some good reduces.
They
yeah,
needed
I
it.
agree.
We need a rematch, Nate.
You'd be fucked.
Yeah,
No, they're great.
yeah, they're gonna be really good, right?
Can we have a rematch before July with your Angels? Before my effect get affected?
No. And then, Guinness, what are you going to play next? You going to carry on with Seraphon Love?
Definitely. And apparently, I'm playing such a narrative list that with the new points, I lose almost anything. Things go up, but crossbows go down. So I may be losing a Balewind. I'll definitely keep playing Seraphon. And I'm also probably start a Night Hunt. I'm really slow painter, don't know when I will fill them, but I always like the models. And it always felt that nobody actually played Night Hunt Allegiance. They mostly played Legions of Nagas with Night Hunt units in it.
Yeah.
So I want to dig in because it seems really interesting, but we'll see.
As one of the team captains of Blood Tithe, amazingly, will you guys be coming next year to Blood Tithe?
Yeah.
Because there's rumours. Do you know the rumours of where it's going to be?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
It's okay. Yeah, Poland. Yeah, Poland is the rumor.
We'll be there.
Yeah, good. All right.
Wherever
solid.
it is, wherever it is.
Wherever it is. Yeah.
Be where they are.
Yeah, good. So I think that's all we've got time for because we've been here forever. And also, I'm sorry about the mess up. Thank you so much for giving up your guys' time. And also, Nathan and Speckles, thank you for giving up your time. You guys are wonderful. Obviously,
We had a great time.
good. Well, hopefully we'll hear more from you guys in the future. Now you're on Twitter, and then I've got some stuff to talk to you about.
Yeah,
but then, obviously, there's loads to do on the show because we're in like such an amazing time for like Age of Sigmar, right?
Yeah.
Like, I want to start using those new terrain rules. Like, not the deployment one. I'm going to ignore them forever. The arcane like scenery rules.
Each year it's like we get a reboot.
Yeah, and it's awesome, right? Like, so I'm super pumped for that. Like, I really want to run out my just keep playing my Tzeentch and see what that's like. Especially after like they've kind of done well in different places across the world, but kind of not as well. So I think that's interesting. Archeon in there, casting some ender spells with Destiny dice from Slanesh. So clever. Yeah, just really fucking with people's brains. But I would say. Yeah, it's going to be a really funny time, I think, generally. But yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for everyone listening and watching back. Leave some comments and say some stuff. Is there any final thoughts you guys want to say before you guys, why you got a mic? You've got a platform to tell the world something. What do you want to say?
First of all, thank you so much for hosting us. I believe the English Warhammer scene is great. I believe the vast majority are very nice people, relaxed, who come to have fun and play, whether if it is competitive or more casual game. I really like the mentality of UK. I was very pleased with this.
Cool.
So, my comments that I agree with George here. Thank you very much for everything. I like so much. This was a special experience for me. And also I have to tell to the other guys, keep calm and roll dice. It's nothing else.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was really great to see you again. It was really nice meeting you and get to meet the worst player of Warhammer in the whole world. That's an experience. we had a really great time, and although we're from a foreign country where most of the time we don't know most of the people, it feels like so cozy and warm. Like everyone is so happy to see us and chit chat, and even in between games when there is a tension and you have to be prepared for the next one. It's great. We're having a blast every single time so far. Like, it's perfect.
And we'll be back.
Nathan, you got any thoughts?
No, I agree with Giannis. That's how we felt when we went to Aussie and to the US and stuff like that. Yeah, wherever you go, it's just good because you got people you know because you play Warhammer.
Yeah.
I think thank you to everyone on Patreon and Twitch. Obviously, I think the way to end this is that's true all across the world, apart from in Derby, which sucks.